All right. What's going on, everybody? Salute. Hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to all my fellow Knick fans. Happy Saturday. We are back. Sometimes you sleep wrong. Man, neck is not feeling great. We all right, though. We hanging in there. Anyway, shout out to everybody. I hope you all are doing great. It's a beautiful Saturday. The weather is fantastic. Let's see here. What we got going on this Saturday, folks? All right. On my weather, whether it's good or not, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Chef's kiss, folks. In the East Coast, New York area, 73 degrees, sunny, going up to a high of 82, low of 62 tonight. This is definitely out in them streets weather, folks. Out in them streets. Until next week when we get the heat wave. We're talking hot, 90, 93, 93, 90. Ooh-wee. It's going to be a hot one, folks. So definitely make the best of your time. Enjoy. I mean, most of the time next week we'll be at work, except if I'm not mistaken, I believe Juneteenth is next week. So I think that might be Wednesday. If you guys, most people, I would hope most organizations are observing that. So that will be a day off, one day that you can enjoy the hot weather if that's your thing. I don't know, head over to the beach if that's what you get into. Yeah. But, and I got the morning cup of Joe or Joanne, whatever you want to call it, iced coffee, congestion, the congestion formula for me. Shout out to the chat. What's good? Walter Blackman in the building. Salute, Walter. Appreciate you as always. My guy. Hope you're doing well. 713 Gamer in the building. Fliggy D. What up, bro? Hope you're doing good. He said, we back, bro. And Walter said, good morning. He says, let me go ready up my Still Knick fans coffee mugs. Facts. Yes, please do. Yeah, if you haven't already, got yourself a Still Knick fans coffee mug. Hey, you know what I mean? Get them while getting's good. Appreciate you, bro. Lion of Judah is in the building. Salute. What's good, Lion of Judah? He said, Grand Rising, my brother Ron and John, to the panel. Blessings to all. Shalom, fam. Appreciate you, man. Same to you. Hope you're doing well today. My guy, Andios NYK in the building. Salute. What's good, Andios? Hope you're doing well. He says, salute, peace, love, blessings to us all. Make sure you smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the show. Yes, exactly. Margaret Edwards is in the building. Salute. What's good? And you know what that means. The party has just started. Let's go. Yes. How you doing, Margaret? Just Knicks is in the building. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. Yes, sir. He says, salute, Ron. Yes. Hi, Margaret. Darren Hood is in the building. What up, Darren? Salute, my brother. He says, salute, Ron. Good to see you. JJ is in the building. What's good, my brother? He says, salute, Ron. Happy Saturday, bro. Tyus Jones would be the perfect backup point guard. He improved his three-point shot last few years, and he has an amazing assist-turnover ratio. Sign him. Yeah, I've always kind of liked him. And, in the past, I didn't really want the Knicks to look at him because I didn't want the Knicks to kind of settle and just bring in a guy like that rather than trying to get, other pieces that can help the team that are maybe a little better for what we needed. But they've done that. You know what I mean? Jalen Brunson is that. So having a Tyus Jones as a backup, once again, chef's kiss. I can't get mad at it. I'll be okay with that. I'm all right with it. It is what it is. It's not too flashy, but you know what he does, and that works. 808 Empire State in the building. He says, aloha, brother Ron. What's good? Appreciate you. Aloha. Delano Steele Jr. is in the building. What's going on, DSJ? Appreciate you, my bro. He says, salute to everyone in the chat. Salute to Ron Steele, Nick, who's the biggest Knicks fan. Oh, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, but it's not, it wouldn't, don't worry about it, Margaret. It wouldn't be like we're getting rid of Deuce. It's that Deuce is like a combo guard. So, and just, you know, it is what it is. He can't run an offense the way in which a Tyus Jones can run an offense. So it's not like we're getting rid of Deuce to bring in Tyus Jones. The only way the Knicks get rid of Deuce is if we trade for somebody big and he has to go in the trade. You know what I mean? But nah, Tyus Jones would be here with Deuce. You know, because Deuce is like a combo guard, so you could have Tyus Jones and Deuce out there at the same time. Yes, actually, yes, I do. I do like Tyus. I do like Kelly Oubre as a free agent target. I may not have liked him in the past, but I just didn't like him. You know what I mean? So I didn't really pay attention to him and what he could do. But after last year, when we talked about him and I compared his numbers to RJ's numbers, and that was pretty disturbing because they were very similar. I started to look at Kelly Oubre in a different light. And then, you know, obviously we saw how he played the rest of the regular season with Philadelphia and how he played in the playoffs. He's a good role player to have on your team. So I can't knock him. He's got athleticism for you know, he's still young. He's got some grit on defense. And yeah, you know what I mean? I can't hate on the guy. Louisiana Knicks is in the building. Salute, Louisiana. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. He says, salute, Ron. Do anticipate big moves this offseason for the Knicks, bro. You know, I never can tell with this Knicks team. And I'll be honest with you. I feel like maybe it's just me. I feel like sometimes the Knicks know exactly what they want to do and what they're going to do, but they also know that the fans have such high expectations. So they kind of tell us what they think we want to hear, right? Oh, you get the rumors that come out. Oh, the Knicks are looking into getting a big name star to join the club, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the Knicks called around and talked to this person to see what's the interest. Oh, the Knicks, blah, 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 right? Okay. And then you get these little articles and snippets that come out. Some more came out recently. Oh, the Knicks never really pursued this person. Oh, the interest in Donovan Mitchell is not the same the way it was a couple years ago. Oh, Karl Anthony Towns, the Knicks never really reached out and had meaningful conversation. You get all of this stuff that starts to come out later, and it makes you think, why keep saying you are going to go after this person, or keep putting out this media stuff to placate the fans and make us think that we are looking to get these type of people, if in reality you don't want to go get these type of people. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it could be because New Yorkers are very selfish and impatient, and some New Yorkers think the only way for a team to be good is with having star name players on it. So that's why the organization continues to throw these little bits, little crackers out there just to get people excited. I don't care about any of that. Just go tell me what you want to do. Tell me the type of team you envision and go get the pieces. I don't care if they're star players or they're not star players, as long as they all fit. So I don't know why they're doing this. You know, and it goes to the point. The other point that I'm looking at is, then you see something like the Knicks are looking to target a star type player this offseason. However, if a star type player doesn't present themselves, they'll revisit the situation in 2024, 25. What? I hear this every year. If you guys think about it, this is the same thing we hear from the Knicks every year. Yeah, we're looking at this, but if not, you know, they're really gearing their pieces up for next summer. What? What? Okay, whatever. I'm like, come on, what are we talking about here? Every year it's the same thing. Oh, we got this person in mind, and they're talking to this person. This person just joined CAA. The relationships. What? I don't know. I don't know. It's always something. I mean, really, like I said, I don't care. I know some Knicks fans will feel like this team isn't complete unless we get another big name. I don't feel that way. All you got to do is bring in some more pieces that will keep us healthy and that can play basketball. I don't care about no big name person. It doesn't matter to me. This Knicks team made it to the second round of the playoffs with 4 guys out. And one guy, playing hurt. 2 guys playing hurt, actually. I don't care about all that. Just get me some healthy bodies that can play ball to go along with what we got, and let's go at it again. That's come on, man. Look at freaking Indiana. They knock us off because we're unhealthy. They go face the Celtics and get putted out of here, swept, sweepies. Then you watch Dallas go out there and lay an egg for three games. Now, last night Dallas came to play. Shout out to Dallas. It doesn't matter because the Celtics are still going to win the series, but they came to play last night. And this is kind of what I already knew. I know a lot of people, at least in the New York area that I've come across, they wanted Dallas to win because they just hate the Celtics. And I get it. And so when people would ask me, what do you think? I'd be honest with them. Yeah, I would love for Dallas to win. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Kyrie Irving, but it is what it is. I think as a person, outside of like, I don't have an issue with him when it doesn't come to the Knicks, but how he acted with regards to my team is the reason why I don't like him. That's all it is. But other than that, I don't wish bad for the guy, and I like Luka. He whines a lot, but I like him, and so I wouldn't be mad if they won a championship. But I knew that they weren't beating the Celtics, and that's what I would tell everybody. Yeah, I would like Dallas to win, but Celtics are going to win. That's just the bottom line. Just because we don't like a team doesn't mean we have to shortchange how good they are. And I've said it all year. The Celtics are good. Doesn't matter. I know with Porzingis, they're great. Without Porzingis, they're good. And sometimes good beats other teams. A lot of times. Great does it easy, but good can get it done. And the Celtics have been good all year. People complained about, oh, well, you know what I mean? What have they done in the past? Doesn't matter what they've done in the past if they finally got it right, because they got good players. Both those guys, Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, are really good players. Sometimes one of them shows up, sometimes the other one doesn't. Don't matter. They've got 2 of them. And so they're always competing, and they're always there, because that's another thing. They're always healthy too. Not always. Jalen had a little issue back in the day, but most of the time, Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum are always out there on the court. And that is huge, right? The other thing too is, the just the pieces that they have. The Drew Holiday has stepped up big time for that team, and also Derek White has been incredible all season. Now Derek has had some clunkers in the playoffs, but it doesn't matter, because every time Derek White doesn't play well, Drew Holiday plays great. He steps up. That's the position they're in, to have so many good players on the team and an adequate bench. As the season has gone on, Celtics bench is not as sexy as it used to be, but it don't matter, because that starting lineup is just so good, and they can stagger players. So it is what it is. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I just feel like the Knicks just need to, don't give us the lips anymore. Just let's go get who you guys want to get, and we'll be happy with that. Don't give us the bill of goods and sell us a bunch of dreams, telling us we want to go after this player and that player and this, and then later we get the stories that they never like. How many times in the past 2-3 years have we seen the Knicks targeting certain players, only for like a year later or 6 months later to find out, oh, well, no, the Knicks never reached out to me, or the Knicks never really targeted that. What are we doing here? Okay. All right, I'm done with that part of it. But I don't get it. I don't know what is going on here. It's like falling for the banana in the tailpipe. This is Beverly Hills Cop. What are we doing here? Why do they keep doing this to us? And why do we keep falling for it? This is why I don't love the offseason conversations, because it's so much speculation. It's all like unwarranted. Nothing's founded. We don't know nothing about nothing. Everything you think you believe and think you hear turns out later you find out it wasn't the case. And then what's the point of this? And that's why you see me trying to talk about what's out there, but I don't like to add more to it. I don't bring up other players and go crazy on what I think the Knicks are going to go for, because they haven't proven to me anything when it comes to getting extra, superstar players and bringing them in, because it just hasn't happened. Whatever. But other than that, I'm still happy. I'm very happy with the team. Like I said, I don't think we need a lot. All right, see who else is up in here. Delano Steele says Kelly Oubre could be a good addition as long as he doesn't tell stories about getting hit by cabs, especially in Midtown Manhattan. Do they still have cabs in the city? They kind of do, a little bit here and there. The yellow cabs are around. Let's see here. Vaughn Allen in the building. Salute, Vaughn. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Says salute OG Ron in chat. That dude fresh in the building. Salute. What's good? Andios agrees. Yep. Freeman 48. What's up, y'all? What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. JM3 in the building. Salute. Ala Wise. What's good, my brother? Hope you're doing well. He said peace. Hey, International Andy in the building. Appreciate you, my brother. I hope you're doing well, man. Andy, listen, man, it's been a long time, bro. I mean, I know you've been busy. I hope you're doing good, bro. Just, ain't the same right now. Not seeing you on any of the shows. Louisiana Nick says, if they don't make another major move or trade, what is the ceiling for this team? Championship or just competing every year? Honestly, bro, when it comes to this Knick team, it's hard to even say what a ceiling is when our biggest issue is health. Like, you can always say, well, healthy, this Knick, but I don't even like to do that anymore, because every year we're unhealthy now. Every year is getting worse and worse. Every year, Mitch is going to be hurt. Now, if we re-sign OG, every year you're going to expect that he's going to be out for some time, right? You just hope it's not playoff time. And then, now you got to worry about Julius Randle. Say what you will, he's not injury prone, but now he's getting hurt every year. Something's popping up. Things are just happening. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't. It's tough to really say. But if we're gonna talk in the way that people have been talking, healthy Knick team makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals. After that, it's on them to show what they got and what they can do with it. But I definitely think a healthy Knick team makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And so then it's, I can't say they make it to the NBA Finals. That's just, they got to earn that. So I'm not going to give them that. But Eastern Conference Finals, yes, a healthy Knick team, this team could make it there. Shout out to my guy Sha Powers in the building. Salute. What's good, Sha? Appreciate you. Wesley Robinson is in the building. He says, salute, brother Ron, Strong Island, New York, in the building. What's good, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hey, my guy Dat Franco is in the building. What up, my brother? Appreciate you as always. Hope you're doing well. Adam Alex is in the building. He says, salute, everyone. Ron, most of these reporters don't really know what's going on with the Knicks. It's just clickbait. You ain't lying. You are not lying. And even the ones who think they know don't know, because then later we find out some other stuff. It is what it is, man. Like I said, people need something to talk about, and that's why all these stories keep coming out. It's just to help us get through the off season into the next season. They want to be on the back pages. They want to have something that gives fans hope. I realize that the more and more as I gotten older, a lot of these organizations, excuse me, they do try to keep our spirits up as fans, whether it be the Knicks, Mets, Yankees, Giants, Jets, whoever it is, they do that type of stuff. So I don't love it, but I get it. It's frustrating in a way. I don't like when I read the articles that I recently saw about the Knicks never really putting a lot of interest into reaching out to Cat, even though that's all they were talking about at a point. Or the DeJounte Murray thing was revisited at one point. They did have talks with Atlanta, but it wasn't really serious. It didn't really take on a lot. Like, what the hell is the point? Like, then why'd say you're going to go after somebody if you don't go after them? Like, what? You know what it is? And then I'm not mad at the Knicks team. Like I said, I think they've done a great job of what they've put together, but it just don't give off the impression that you're going to go do this and you don't really do it. Like, what's the point? Why even do it? Why even say you're going to do it? I would rather them say, behind closed doors, let's look into getting DeJounte Murray over here, and then go look into getting him, right? And then don't say anything to us. Later, you can say, well, we have tried to build the team up and looked at different options. We even we reached out to DeJounte Murray's camp just to see what the interest was, or reached out to Atlanta, should I say, to see if they were interested in trading or doing anything, and nothing really materialized. That's different than saying the Knicks are targeting DeJounte Murray. This summer, they're going to be putting all their chips together to go out and get a star like a DeJounte Murray or a Donovan Mitchell. And then later you tell us they never really actively pursued these two. Like, don't do that. Like, who cares? All right. I know I'm on a rant, but that pisses me off. I don't know. I'm just, I don't get it. All right. I'm done. Now I'm moving on for real. All right. Lion of Judah says, Ron, people have to remember that whoever we pick in the draft, those players have to play defense first and will have to develop for at least 1 to 2 years for Thibs. That's 100% facts. That's why I'm not that enthused about the draft and who we might pick up. Yes, they might be good pieces going forward to help the Knicks, but the Knicks are about winning now. So if you go out and draft 2 good players that you think could help us, but are not gonna help us because Thibs ain't gonna play them, I'm not as enthused about it. I like it how it looks for the future. The only thing I could say is that I like the fact of having healthy bodies on the bench that can play, even if they're not ready, because if guys do get hurt, at least when he has no other choice, he has to use these young guys. That part is okay. But just understanding that if everybody's healthy, you're not going to see a lot of guys anyway. So and those guys are going to sit on the bench. So, you're going to get the same Knicks fans that are going to watch this Knicks team. And if we're all healthy, you should expect that we're going to get busy out there, right? But then there's going to be games where guys don't have it, or there's going to be games where guys go into a slump. Julius might go into a slump or whatever. And then somebody might, if we drafted a good power forward or a good center on the bench, something like, oh, why don't they let Zach Edey play or give this guy a shot while Julius? It's not going to happen. So just want that to be a realization. Organic Fanatics show in the building. Okay, my guy. What up, Raul? Appreciate you, my brother. I hope you're doing well, as always. Anna Grill is in the building. Happy Saturday, Anna Grill. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Alawai says, Ron, bring Rokas over. Go get done. Sign OG, iHeart. Run it back. The Randall injury-prone thing is just a narrative. Randall really gets hurt. Not just running and breaking an ankle. We Gucci. I think you mean Randall never really gets hurt. Not just running and breaking the ankle. We Gucci. Okay. I listen. If Rokas wants to come over, bring Rokas over. Listen, if Rokas wants to come over, then we don't have to talk about Tyus Jones or none of these other guys. Let's just bring Rokas over and see what he can do. I think he's an adequate backup point guard. I think he can help move the ball. He's lefty. He's got a decent dribble. He's got a nice touch on his shot, and he plays some decent defense. You could have him out there with Deuce, kind of going back and forth. I think that's fine. Or rarely. I got you, Allah. So I wouldn't mind that. And then, go get done. Yeah. Listen, let me tell you guys something. If the Knicks are drafting, if the Knicks have picks, right, and Dunn is sitting there. Now, granted, if their first pick is there and they haven't moved it, and the Knicks are drafting and Edey's there and Khalil Ware is there and Dunn is there, then the Knicks are going to draft one of those 3 guys, I would assume. All right. I don't know who they would prefer. Dunn is going to be the 3rd option, in my opinion. But if at some point the Knicks have a draft pick and they're not trading it and they're using it and Dunn is there and like those other guys aren't, Dunn is getting drafted by the Knicks, 100%, if that's the case. But it's just to see who's there at the time. But yeah, Dunn is a straight. He's like the Knick blueprint for Tom Thibodeau. So he would definitely become. And if he wasn't, then I would be more disappointed in this Knick organization and just show to me that they don't know how to draft, which would be ridiculous. You know what I mean? So. JJ says it's great to have cheeks. See what you did there, and you ain't never wrong. Shout out to you, JJ. And Reed Godson in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. I think this might be my first time seeing you in the chat, but welcome. Smash that like button if you like the show, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoy the content. And Reed says Brunson, Bradley. Ooh, no, I don't know about that guy, but I'll read it. Brunson, Bradley Beal, Anobi, Towns, Robinson, lineup. Yeah, that's too much. There's no way they could do it. You're talking about Karl Anthony Towns, who's going to be making upwards of 50, maybe even 60 million per year on his next extension, and then Bradley Beal, who's already making close to 50, if I'm not mistaken, high 40s. And Bradley Beal, should I say this? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not an NBA player, and I have no rights to talk bad about another NBA player. After everything he's done and showed, because he was a beast at one point. But right now, Bradley Beal's not it. So, I wish him the best, and he deserves to be in the NBA still. And if he is in a position to get more opportunities, more shots, I'm sure he can do some good stuff. But he's not for the Knicks. I didn't like that Phoenix connection and what they did over there. It didn't make him look good. And then the other side of it is, he gets hurt. Nah, I'm sorry. That don't work for me. But that's me personally. Maybe somebody else enjoys the Bradley Beal thought. And then to have a team with Bradley Beal and Karl Anthony Towns on it. Oh no. I mean, don't get me wrong. Brunson, if Beal was playing the way Beal used to play with Brunson, Anobi, and Towns, that's formidable. But it's also soft. You know what I mean? Like Brunson's not soft, but he's not the greatest defender. Then you got Bradley Beal. I don't know nothing about Bradley Beal's defensive being anything that I can write home about. Then you got Karl Anthony Towns, and so you got an Anobi and Robinson. That's just not enough on the defensive side of things, in my opinion. I mean, right now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, and this is not being a homer. Right now, Dante DiVincenzo is a better player than Bradley Beal. Just look at the stats. Look at the numbers. And he's not making 40 plus million a year. Lion of Judah says also Thibs is always looking for a replacement down the road when Randall is getting hurt and age. He is his catching up with him. That is why we have Hartenstein. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was on mute. I apologize. Let me repeat that. Alawai says, every time we say who we going to get, it never happens. I'm glad we stay quiet. Can't be disappointed when the front office never promises anything. I hear you. I hear you. and once again, don't judge me, guys. I can't not have the iced coffee. But it's doing a number on me. But it's so good. Heavy is the head that wears the crown that drinks the iced coffee. Is that not how it goes? No, maybe not. Sorry. So, otherwise, said every time we say who we're gonna get, it never happens. I'm glad we stay quiet. Can't be disappointed when the front office never promises anything. So, what I was gonna say to that is, he's right. It's true. However, it's not whether they promise us anything, but whether they seriously are considering these people and can't follow through. You understand what I'm saying? Hmm. So when you think about the OG Ananobi thing was an A plus as far as execution, getting him in here for the front office. We didn't see it coming. We didn't think it could happen because of everything that's been going on with the lawsuit and all that. So kudos to them for getting that done. In the end, we still don't know. There's still Knicks fans that they don't know how they feel with about his health and all that. But it's just as far as getting that type of talent, the way we did with the team in which we did, that's a hell of a move by the Knicks. So shout out to them. But once again, that was under the radar and none of us knew about it. And, wasn't targeted. So that was a sneaky move. Good job. Jalen Brunson, with the relationships and everything that's gone on there, that was one of those that, and they kind of had it lined up and it worked out and it's been great. But every other big name player that the Knicks have tried to go after, supposedly the Zach Levines, the Carl Anthony Townses, the DeJounte Murrays. I'm just talking more realistic, like they might have had a chance. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Paul George I don't want to bring him up because he just wanted too much money, from what I remember, and the Knicks didn't want to do that. So that's okay. Not him. Donovan Mitchell. It goes back to the Donovan Mitchell thing once again for me, because they pursued this guy for 2 months. It was almost a done deal that we knew it was going to happen. And I get it that Danny Ainge pulled the rug out from under, Leon Rose and tried to go crazy with what he was asking. I understand. But after going 2 months of trying to get this guy and you don't get him, everybody thought it was a foregone conclusion. He thought himself it was a foregone conclusion, but you couldn't pull it off. I'm just saying, they haven't shown to me that when they target a big name star, that they can actually get it done. And I mean when they target it and we know about it. Like I said, the Anunoby thing was nice, really good. And the Brunson thing was kind of one of those. The relationships was so big and so prominent that we could see that actually happening. We're talking about when you actually have to put the footwork in and go out and grab somebody and bring them here when you don't have those same type of relationships. You got to do the work. You got to entice the player as a free agent or something to come here, or you have to work out a deal that appeases the other team and gets it done. Don't know if we've seen that, like I said, outside of the OG thing, but all right. So that's the only thing that I talk about. Like if they really put this stuff out there, you would think they're serious about it, but who knows? Vaughn Allen, that's a really good point. Let Derek Lively serve as an example as to how you draft picks should contribute right away for Thibs. Yes, he is an ideal type of player that comes in right away and pays instant dividends, and he's a Thibs type of guy. Agreed, 100%. That's a fact. Okay. Shout out to Paris Duggan in the building. What up, Paris? He said Thibs is great, but until I see him sign a contract, Dolan is capable of getting rid of him. Well, yeah. I mean, but he won't. But yeah, I hear you. Building Blocks is in the building. Salute, my brother. Hope you're doing good. He says, salute, Ron. Knicks don't draft because of Thibs, though. Oh no, on contraire, bon frere. That's how it was before. But as you can see, remember, let's not forget all the stuff that happened with the Kemba Walker Fournier stuff and the Cam Reddish stuff. Thibs was not happy about being put in that position, especially the Cam stuff. He was not happy about you bringing in a player when he doesn't have the ability to give this guy consistent minutes. And he tried to do things the way the front office envisioned it, and it didn't work. So then the front office said, well, let's just try to give him players that he'll be comfortable with. And you've already seen the difference. The Knicks are a much better team now than they've ever was before. And that's because you've given Thibs players that fit his system. And, so yeah, I would not say that the Knicks don't draft for Thibs. Of course, I mean, Deuce McBride is a Thibs player. Quentin Grimes was a Thibs player. Jericho Sims, I don't know what Jericho Sims is. That's pretty much it. I don't know. But I think they are drafting as per what Thibs likes. Maybe not every draft pick, but they're definitely like those two guys that are Deuce and Grimes are definitely Thibs guys. Didn't work out with Grimes, but it is what it is. Yes, agreed. I would say Dante is better right now than Bradley Beal. Monty the Great from Minneapolis is in the building. He said, did everybody see the playoff between Denver and Minnesota? Call Anthony Towns play Jokic straight up. I haven't seen that in years. Great defense. Okay. All right. I'll be honest, I didn't see it. But that's good. Okay. I like it. So Paris says Dante can't touch Beal. You got caught up in the Beal in Phoenix. Well, no, I got caught up in Beal in Phoenix and current Beal because this is who current Beal is. And that's all I can go off of. So the problem is like I said, if you take Carl Anthony, if you take Kevin Durant off Phoenix, right? And take Booker off Phoenix and make Phoenix Beal's team, he's going to put up better numbers because he's going to get more touches and he's going to be the focal point. I don't doubt that. But that's not what we're talking about here because on Phoenix, he's with those guys currently, right? If he came to the Knicks, Jalen Brunson is here, right? Dante DiVincenzo is here. OG Anunoby hopefully would be here. There's other guys here. Or if something else happens in the reverse, then Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle's here. Either way, he's not the focal point. He's not going to get all the touches. And I just think he's not as effective when he's not a focal point of the offense. He just doesn't seem like that complementary blend-in player. He seems like more of a star-type player that needs to be a bigger factor. When he's not, I don't think the production is the same. And it definitely isn't warranted that big contract that he got. So, my opinion. I'm not saying he's washed. I'm just saying currently the way he's used on the teams and the construction of the teams, he's not as valuable. Dante's more valuable. And Dante plays really good defense, guys. I don't know if you know this. He was top 10 in defense in the guard position. That's pretty damn good. Marvin Smith in the building. He said, good morning. I have been a Knicks fan since the late 70s. He also said, since it's a solid front office, what are we complaining about? Yeah, I think I already said what I was complaining about. The Knicks have told you they're going after certain players, right? And then later, the articles have come out recently. The stories have come out that the Knicks never really targeted certain players. So why do you keep saying you're going after certain players if you're not targeting? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what other people are talking about, but that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like if you tell me, hey, Ron, man, you know what? Next week, I'm going to get this Lamborghini. You know what I mean? I'll take you out for a spin if that's what you want to do. I mean, I'm like, oh, that's what you want to do. The next week, yeah, man, I was saying I was going to get that Lamborghini, but I wasn't really going to get that Lamborghini. And it's not really for me. So why'd you say you was going to get the Lamborghini? That's it. Just simple. That's it. Simple. And as somebody who is a content creator that's covering the Knicks and talking about the Knicks, I also don't want to spend a whole offseason talking about a player that they should be pursuing or that they said they're pursuing, then later find out they never really pursued them. What? That's pretty much it. Chef NYK in the building. Salute. What's good, my brother? Says, salute, Ron. I hear you on the draft, but some of these players are NBA ready teams will use them like Lively. Why not us? Devin Carter, if we could move up, would be instantly rotational. I mean, yeah, but I just don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know. It's like instantly rotational over who, though, right? Let's look at the Knicks rotation. If we're rocking with the same squad, Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle. For the sake of argument, Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride. I guess Mitchell Robinson is still here. Mitchell Robinson. That's 8. Still don't know what they're going to do with Bogdanovich, right? Maybe Bogdanovich. If Bogdanovich is gone, then yeah, spot opens up. And I hear that maybe Bogdanovich has to be gone. I don't know. But 9-man rotation is Tom Thibodeau. He's not going higher than this. This is him. So I don't know if any rookie would be rotational. After I named those guys, no rookie is playing over those dudes. You have to get rid of somebody. But I hear you. Shout out to my guy Boulevard 73, a member for 7 months of Still Knicks fans. Appreciate you, my brother. As always, I hope you're doing good. Building Block says Spider won't be a Knick before the age of 30. You might be right. Let me put a link out there just in case if anybody wants to jump on and chop it up. All right. Then we got Marvin says, I'm glad we didn't trade for Donovan. Look at Phoenix. Brooklyn big names don't always mean you're going to win. This front office is solid. Like I said, I'm not mad at the front office. I like what the front office done. I like who we got. I think we could run it back. I just think we need a couple healthy pieces just in case. But I'm happy with this team. My whole thing is, if you say you're gonna go after these type of players, or this is who you're targeting, then go target them. Don't tell us later, oh, we never really targeted them. Then what is all this talk? And then you hear, instead of this year, if the Knicks don't wind up with somebody, then they're definitely gearing up for 24, 25. That's what they said last year. And that's what they said the year before that. You get it? You don't understand when someone is kind of giving you a line. You know what I mean? Like I get my whole thing is treat Knicks fans like we're a little smarter than that. Don't placate us and don't try to make us feel good by telling us we're going after somebody if you never really wanted to go after that person. Just go bring in a good roster and go win the damn games. That's it. Play basketball. I don't care about no big names. I care about the guys playing good basketball. That's all that wins. It's not the names, it's the play. D-Trade in the building. What up? Spider is not a Knick because Utah was trying to fleece us. No, I get it. I get it. But remember, Utah's situation changed over time. At one point, the Knicks had a chance to sink their teeth in and get it done, but they didn't go aggressive early. And then Utah's offer is starting to get progressively worse. And then there was excuse me, a little bit of contention between Danny Ainge and Leon Rose, because then Leon Rose decided to give Danny Ainge an ultimatum. Like, look, we need to get this done, because if not, on Monday, I'm giving RJ Barrett an extension because he deserves the extension, and I got to worry about my team going forward. So we need to get this done now. If not, by Monday, I'm giving RJ the extension. So of course, Danny Ainge said, okay. And then Monday, he gave RJ Barrett the extension, and that was it. And then it was, I don't know how soon after that it was. Next thing we know, Donovan Mitchell gets traded to Cleveland. So I get the fleece part, but I'm saying at one point the Knicks could have got the deal done. And then when you look back at it, the trade offer that wasn't as bad. It wasn't, we were going to give up something, but it was the sticking point was Quentin Grimes. And where is Quentin Grimes right now, guys? Go ahead, tell me. Yeah, that's how it happens. Things move fast. Louisiana Nick says, Ron, do you think if we would have made the trade for Mitchell 2 years ago, do you think this team would be further along in pursuit for a title, or does that mix or the mix does not work with this team? I think if we had 2 years ago, now I don't know, because I don't know what the Knicks would have planned. You know what I mean? Because the biggest issue for the Knicks is we always needed a 6'7", 6'8" player that could play defense. And we never had that. If you brought in Donovan Mitchell at that time, we still wouldn't have had that, and the Knicks would have been searching for it. And who knows what capital or what ability they would have had to go get it. So, yes, I don't know if we would have been better off. I think the fact that we did go out and get OG Anunoby now allows you to be in a position to go out and get that offensive player, because you do have a guy like OG here now. So I think we're in a better position now to do it. Honestly, that's a good question, Louisiana Knicks. If we would have got Donovan then, who knows? But then again, maybe getting Donovan here, we would have been blowing other teams out because of our scoring. I don't know. And, maybe having Donovan here means it would have been less wear and tear on Julius, and maybe he never would have hurt his shoulder. Who knows? You never know. You never know. We could have been a monster out there with these guys scoring, but we don't know. But it's a good question. Shaw Legacy says Leon wasn't even involved in the negotiations for Spotty. He sent somebody else to handle it. I didn't like that. That's a true point too. That's a good point. Yeah, that was one of those. You are Danny Ainge. Everybody knows you like to fleece people. Everybody's giving you control and thinking that I'm going to get washed up out here because I'm new to this position. And so let me send one of my subordinates to negotiate and just come back to me with the bottom line stuff, and I'll approve or disapprove. That was Leon Rose trying to show his positioning. I mean, I can't fault the guy for trying to look like a big boss, because he is a big boss. I mean, running your own agency is a real deal, and a successful one at that. So yeah, sometimes people put themselves in a situation where they try to look a little bigger than they are. And I think it kind of backfired a little bit, but I think he learned from it. It's 2 points. One, he was going back and forth with Danny Ainge, trying to look like he had a position, which he did, but I don't know. I can't get into that. I lost a lot of brain cells during that time period. It's just the PTSD, man. Charlie Solomon says trades for the Knicks are always different. People always want to fleece them. It's facts. The Knicks tax. Hit him up in the building, says I'd rather go out, and shout out to you, Charlie Solomon. Appreciate you. And shout out to Hit him up. I'd rather go after DeJounte Murray. I hear you. I hear you. Salute to you, Shaw Legacy. All right. See, I got a couple people backstage, but let me just read a couple more of these. Where did there it is. My guy, Soul Finger. What up, Soul Finger? Appreciate you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I said salute, brother Ron. Happy Daddy Day to you and all the pops in the chat. Facts. Happy Father's Day to all of you guys. I know I'm not going to be on tomorrow, so I'm going to say it now. Happy Father's Day to all of my fathers out there. You know what I mean? My fellow brothers at arms, your pops, grandpops, all of them. All of them. It's a daddy day, baby. Nobody respects daddy day. Shout out to Alton Lee in the building. What's good, Alton? I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well, my brother. He says, salute, long time, my brother. What we need are two things: a veteran backup point guard and players who are catch and shoot guys, because Brunson will continue to dominate the ball. I mean, he will if he doesn't have more options that can help him. So I agree with you on that. But once again, Julius being back healthy automatically helps that situation, and Brunson won't dominate the ball the same way. Shop Howard says, give Bodega his $2 million and let him go. I hear you. King Ribby in the building. Salute. What's good, King Ribby? HP Carlos, salute Knicks Nation. What's going on, my brother? Hope you're doing well. All right. Okay. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Captain Slim in the building. Okay, he says the information is not coming from Leon Rose. It's the Knicks for Clicks media play. Yeah, okay. You may be right. Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. You know what's funny? I mean, you're a man, right? But did everybody ever tell you kind of look like that dude from B2K? That movie Stomp the Yard and whatever, the other guy, one of the dancer dudes, but one of the members of B2K. Like, you look just like that guy. I mean, he was a young guy, but like I was like, is that him? Is that Boogs? NYC B-Ball 08 in the building. What up? What's good? Salute. Nick P in the building. Salute. What's good? Oh, yeah. No. 100% 808. Extending RJ pissed off Ainge 100%. That's when it was dead. It was dead. As soon as that, he got off the phone with the Knicks. Like, Cleveland, let's go. No, I don't care. Just whatever. I'll take it. Let's go. All right. I think we're good. All right. Let me bring my guys in here, but before I do that, let me hit the intro and let's get it cracking with the regularly scheduled programming. Please support the Knicks merch if you haven't already done it, that we got going on. Our Still Knick Fans merchandise right there, youtube.com @Still Knick Fans store. You click on one thing, it takes you to the store. You can see a whole bunch of other things we got going on. So please support if that's something you're interested in. By all means, you're always welcome to buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/StillKnickFans. We obviously appreciate everything you guys do. If you decide to do super chats or whatever, anything you do to support the show, by all means, we appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in and always supporting us with everything we got going on. It is definitely appreciated. So that being said, look at that. Hey, look at the boys. Here we go. Still Knick Fans with Ron and John. You see it. Yeah. Okay. Let me not stretch out my shirt. What are we doing? Can't say I don't wear my own merch. All right. Let's hit the intro. And we'll come back and chop it up. I got two guys backstage, and I'm very excited to hear from them. So let's do this. A product placement? What mug? What's Still Knick Fans merch mug? I don't even see it. Let me put that down. Sorry. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go, folks. Let me get my guys in here. Shy Powers. What
Yo,
up,
what up?
Shy?
What's going on, Ron? That was just the grace salute, whatever the word is, to bring that cup in and promote your style.
What cup? I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what you're
didn't
talking
even see it.
about,
Don't worry,
Shy.
I ain't see it. Not the one with the iced coffee in it. I ain't see
Eddie C in the building.
it. Eddie C, what up?
How you doing, guys? Salute.
Chilling, brother.
I also was very pleased by what you just did, man. That was fire, bro. Like I really
Yeah,
like.
I
at
That
don't
least,
know
was
what
at
you
great
least,
guys.
at least,
acting. Yeah.
I don't know what you
at
guys are
least,
talking
Wiz
about.
in the
Just
background
rich
will
me.
talk about you coming on dancing.
hmm I
That's
like that
fact.
too, man. That's part of your shindig, you know. Intro's fire, man. Like always, bro. It's a pleasure to be with you guys right now.
Hey, man, appreciate both you guys as always. So without further ado, you know, let me get it. Well, I feel like I should ask you guys, right? Because I wasn't even thinking about this. But I mean, what do you think? I don't want to be making a big deal about it. I mean, maybe I feel a little bit more a certain way because I'm a content creator, right? But let me start with you, Shah. How do you feel about hearing the Knicks say they're going to go after certain people, right? It's okay. You don't have to get everybody. You can go after somebody. You can kind of test the water, see if somebody's available. I don't care about that. And whether or not it's true or not, I don't know. But if it is true, how do you feel about the Knicks saying they're going to go after certain players? They're allocating money or allocating, trying to put themselves in a position to grab assets to be able to pursue these people. And then later you find out that whether it's true or not, this is just what people are saying, that they never really pursued a certain person or talks never got serious, whatever. Then they hit you with well, we're putting ourselves in position for the next year to be. How do you feel about that?
Um, I mean, this front office is way different from front offices from before, and I believe that they touch base with everything. Looking for the Paul Georges last year, the a whole bunch of the Zach Levines and all these things. I think they pursued them, but it's all about the money. They're really about following the money, and I think they want to try to preserve what they have now before they go into these new nuances of the first apron and the second apron stuff. So I think they pursued against a lot of guys and possibly could have been close to some of the guys, but at certain angles like the Danny Ainge angle, after he probably got a little perturbed about hearing that RJ is going to say, so he jacked up the price and other stuff. So I think they touched base with a whole lot of people, but I mean, sometimes people don't want to make trades with you. I mean, just because you want somebody don't mean that the other person want to give them up. So I'm on it like that. I think they touch base with a lot of players. They have a lot of stakes right now. They got a lot of things that they could do this year with all the stuff that we're talking about. So I think this will be a year that they can do something. If they really want to make a major move, they could do it this year. I mean, it'd have to be a whole lot of manipulation around and stuff, and signing this guy to add him on and try to stay under the first apron so we can make a trade with two players instead of making a one-on-one trade and all this other stuff. But I think this is the year that we see something different, at least something different from the front office this year. Maybe we sign all three of our first rounds. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
24, 25, and 33. Maybe we sign all of those this year.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Eddie C, what's your thoughts, bro?
First, if you permit me, I just like to tell everybody that I'm doing something. I'm trying to get into the live, and I
Mm-hmm.
need 50 subscribers. So if you guys can please subscribe to my channel so I could go live and talk about some basketball, talk about some stuff that I've had, that I want to get out there. I greatly appreciate it. I'm about to put the link in the chat. And just please come and come kick it with me. I'm gonna try to do something later on today. Um, so I just wanted to say that first off.
Yeah.
And
No.
if it
Put it
was
in there,
okay with you,
AC. I got you.
thank you. Um, when it comes to this, what do you call media saying that we were pursuing, and then the Knicks or Medium itself saying that we're not pursuing certain players. I take like everything with a grain of salt. I believe 50, if not less than what I hear. 50,
Mm,
50% or if not less than what I hear. So to me, it's just a lot of posturing. There's nothing wrong with talking to certain teams about players. It's I think it's just a normal, especially in business. It's normal if you're looking into a car and you see one, and you can just go and ask the owner, how much are you selling it for? You know what I'm saying? And depending on what he says, you either think about it, or if you're not, you can be window shopping. You know what I'm saying? So it's, to me, it's not that big of a deal. To me, it's just posturing. This is the way things are done. Sometimes it's serious. I think that the things that are mostly serious, they don't come out. You know,
mm,
until maybe later on. Um, that's the way, a lot of people, they work in silence. Some other things have been in the where there's ashes, there were fire, the saying, right? Because you heard about OG Anunoby to the Knicks about 2 years before we got the trade done. So I mean, it's up and down. There's not really a rhyme or reason to media talks, and to me, this is all content. It's a
mm-hmm.
content for the media. It's content for
For hits.
yeah, and for everybody that wants to learn about what's going on, and you know and that's how people get interested in wanting to listen to you. So some of it could be true, some of it could be not true. um I tend to err on the side of most of it is not true until I see significant movement, and then I assess it from then on. Today
Mm-hmm.
there was a picture of RJ Barrett. I don't know if it's his birthday or something.
It is.
Okay, so
Happy birthday, RJ Barrett, by the way.
yes, happy birthday, RJ Barrett. And there was a tweet, and all of a sudden it was like, who won this trade? You know what I mean? So, and then there was people bashing that we lost the trade because we ended up in the same place that we did last year. We lost in the second round just like last year. So even though people might say we won the trade because we got OG and he's the better player, in actuality, other people are saying that we lost the trade because we didn't advance. So
Yeah.
just putting that out there. It's all this stuff is up and down, and we didn't know that RJ was going to be part of that package. You were talking about when Danny Ainge got upset because RJ got the extension, this and that.
Mm.
So, I was just putting that little
Yeah.
something
I
that's out
appreciate
there.
that. It's true. It's true. And I mean, it's crazy. It's wild how, as fans, we look at certain things in certain ways. Like, I don't know what it is. Um, but then again, like, I feel a certain way sometimes about things, but then I also I can't be mad at people. You know why? Because you know, there's people that in their personal life, in their work life, they strive to be the best, and they understand that sometimes being second best or whatever doesn't get it done. Like, you want to pursue things, if you want to achieve certain things, you have to have a certain mindset. So there's some fans that probably have that same mindset that they apply to themselves. So if they feel that way about the team, like, regardless of whether we were injured or not, bottom line is we only made it to the second round. So we didn't really, what am I going to say? I'm one of those. I appreciate the team and what they did. And I understand that if we weren't as hurt as we were, we could have did more. But in the end, it is what happened, and that's all that anybody's going to notice, especially non-Knick fans. They're only just going to point to, oh, okay, the Knicks got knocked out in the second round. They didn't go no. Like, as fans, we know what happened, but you know what I mean? So I hear you, and I hear that that's what some fans think, and so that's why it's a lot of, like, everybody's going to look at things differently. There's a lot of going back and forth to that. So let me ask you guys this. Now we'll get into the regularly scheduled programming. Let me save that. Sorry. How do you guys feel about this? Because I don't know. I don't know what to think. Mo Cheeks. First off, you guys can let me know if you guys know. Sha, if you know, I don't know. Do you know who the Knicks let go from the coaching staff to bring in Mo Cheeks? Or they haven't said anything?
No idea. I don't know exactly who it is, but I know we got a lot of coaches and assistant coaches and all that stuff. And with some of those allegations out there about Johnny Bryant maybe looking to run his own team, I mean, maybe this is someone to bring back a better old school Nick to bring back to the Knicks roster and help with the offense. If we if they're going to move, if Brian's going to move off and go get his own team, Mo Cheeks is a good guy to help run the offense.
Eddie C, how you feel about Mo Cheeks?
I believe it was said that there was nobody leaving the coaching staff. He was just getting added on to the coaching staff.
Yeah, because there's a lot of players there. There's a lot, like 10 of them.
So nobody's leaving. It's just that he was just added on. You know what I mean? But again, that can be, they're saying that now, and then when it gets closer to the season, maybe somebody either gets a job or somebody it's not brought back for some reason contractually. So, but at the time being, they're saying that nobody was let go. Like it wasn't somebody left, so we replaced him with Mo Cheeks. Mo Cheeks just got added on to the assistant coaching staff.
So right now, Thibodeau's current staff includes Johnny Bryant, plus Rick Brunson, Darren Erman, Andy Greer, and Othello Harrington. Not to mention the other dudes that are out there like Dice and whoever else they got on. I don't know what they classify those guys as. But yeah, so there's a good amount of people over there. I just don't understand. They might be preparing for something because you know that Johnny Bryant has a big role in what the offense looks like.
Facts.
Daddy Brunson, I don't know what his role is, but it's been big and pivotal. So Othello Harrington works with the big men. I just don't know what Mo Cheeks is supposed to do. So I'm just curious as to how that works, even if it's not about letting people go. Like, what's the role? So we'll find out. But with regards to Mo Cheeks himself, he's an all-star point guard, NBA champion. He had an 11-year stint with Philadelphia. He played for the Knicks 2 seasons in the 90s. He got traded. He was acquired in the trade for Rod Strickland. We got Mo Cheeks for Strickland. So apparently, Cheeks had planned to take a lesser advisory role with the Bulls after last season's disappointing season. So if he was already going to take like a demotion with the Bulls, then yeah, just coming here to the Knicks and just being on the staff, we might be throwing him a bone.
Could be.
For being a veteran Knick, right?
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to read too much into that no more. So, because if that's the case, because I didn't know that. I was just curious about it. Because I don't know. I just didn't see what's his role going to be. But if that's the case, it makes more sense that, all right, you can add him to the staff and whatever. He can be like the coaching version of a Herb Williams. You know what I mean? Someone who is a positive influence on guys, has experience, was a champion. For the most part, I think a lot of players like Mo Cheeks. They always talk good about him. So, yeah, maybe it's just another good influence to have on the team.
I have 2 things. One is the Knicks always, seem to be very, I think family oriented. Is what I want to say. They always, try to keep things in house, close circled. And if you're part of that group, be it that you're in that group at this moment or you're around, they'll bring you in. They'll support you, and they do that from the players to the coaching staff and beyond. So it doesn't surprise me in that sense. And 2, I would say that he would be a person that can help Miles McBride in the playmaking side of things to help him become a better playmaker, a better point guard in that aspect. See the floor a little better because Mo Cheeks was a pretty good point guard back in his day. Just to give him some insight into how he can make players around him better for next year, because if that's one of the things that McBride has to work on is playmaking ability and being a better point guard for us.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I can agree with that. Shout out to Vaughn Allen. He said, if my memory serves correctly, RJ got extended after Mitchell was dealt. Maybe technically, but you can look back and type it up. Leon Rose gave Danny Ainge an ultimatum and said that he needed to know what was the plan for the trade, what was going to happen, because if not, he was going to extend RJ Barrett. It was a Monday deadline. And if you remember, the next day, Tuesday or Wednesday, a couple days later, RJ Barrett walked into the team practice or whatever, the training facility, and he was carrying a little black bag, and he was wearing all black, and he was just smiling at everybody because he got told that he got his money. I can't pull it up for you, but that's what happened. And I remember that. I don't remember a lot of things, but I remember that. But yeah, that's what was told, that Leon Rose gave Ainge an ultimatum. He wanted to get things done, or he was going to re-sign RJ Barrett. And that was big because if you guys remember, once he would re-sign RJ Barrett, it changes the dynamics of the trade. And now if they want RJ Barrett, they're on the hook for that money that the Knicks agreed to. So that was the point. That's why Danny Ainge would not have been happy with that to begin with. But okay, let's get off that, right? You know, I don't know if you guys seen it. I didn't see it in its entirety. I just saw bits and pieces. But Tom Thibodeau was on the Roommates podcast, which is really dope that they were able to get him to do that, because, you know, Tom Thibodeau, he's weird because he looks like he's the type, he's just a curmudgeon that doesn't want to do anything. But, you know, he's a fun guy. And he did grace his presence on the Roommates show. And so on that Roommates show, he basically got into the whole thing about the haters around the league towards him and how he has played the Knicks with the minutes and the usage. And he pointed to the same thing that some of us have already pointed to, because we see it. The fact that other teams have played their players just as much as the Knicks, if not more in instances. Some guys averaging 40 minutes, closer to 40 minutes, even for the season, closer to it. Whereas he even said that if you look at our guys, the same guys that you say are playing tons of minutes, they're not even in the top 10 in minutes. Yet I'm the one who runs people into the ground, and I'm the reason for all these injuries. Yet my guys for the whole season aren't even in the top 10 in minutes. What'd you guys think about that? What'd you think about that, Shah?
Yeah, I mean, he's right. You know what I mean? If you look at the stats, you got, Tatum's of the game and Jokic's of the game and all these other guys playing 38, 39, 41 minutes. You know what I mean? Getting into the playoffs, they're playing, I mean, he once you get a stigma, sometimes it just never leaves you. You know what I mean? And that's what it is with Tom Thibodeau. And also on one of those podcasts, Josh Hart said, I don't know if it was the Roommates podcast, but in one podcast that he was in, he was like, Thibs practice. He said he don't even practice us. He said sometimes we get, scrimmages and stuff like that. But, on the better half, we sit there and we watch videotapes and we get mental about what we want to do. Pretty much on-court basketball is just shooting reps. So there it goes in a nutshell. You ain't like back in the days in the 80s when what was it called? Doing 2 outs or something like that. You're going out, you're playing offensive minded, and then the next time you go back out and you switch your shirts and then you go play defensive minded. They don't do that much at like nowhere what they used to do in the 80s and the 90s. So, it makes it worse because we had some bad injuries over here. But if you look at the injuries, it wasn't like they were run down injuries like you playing your guys so much. Julius Randle broke his arm on a player that undercut him, and he tried to support himself with the arm and threw the arm out. Mitchell Robinson twisted his ankle. OG pulled the hamstring when he came over here. I believe he already had that nick from the elbow. So it wasn't like when he came over here, he was still wearing that support brace on his that Kiko tape stuff on his arm already when he came over here. So he already came, I believe, over with that injury. You know what I mean? So it carried over, got worse. He had to get surgery on it. You know what I mean? And him running up the court real hard on one of the plays where he was having one of the best games for the Knicks, he pulled a hammy. He wasn't hydrated or something like that. So, the back in the day stuff that was about Tom Thibodeau with him and Rose and stuff like that, it could have been, coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know what I mean? But from this era of him playing with the Knicks, I don't know if I could say he has a Tom Thibodeau circle of trust, man, and he puts the guys out there that he trusts. So, and it equated for us to get 50 wins this year and be second in the Eastern Conference this year. Second ranked team in the Eastern Conference.
Right. Yeah, it's true. What you think, Eddie C?
Well, to me, I think is kind of simple where people get upset at Tom Thibodeau. I don't think it's the playing of the minutes of the players, because like Shah just mentioned, there's other players, and you just mentioned that they weren't in the top 10 in minutes and this. So that's a fact. So if they're not in the top 10 in minutes, there are players that are playing more minutes than what our players are getting.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think the people get upset at is when we're up by like 20 points with 5 minutes left, he's still playing those players down with 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
mm-hmm.
And that's a sore eye, for whoever's watching it, is like, yo, if somebody gets hurt, I'm going to be really upset at you, Thibs. Like, just get him out. So he has to get better at things like that. He has faults. Like, to me, the you're up 3 points with 20 seconds or 10 seconds left and you don't foul. I think those are lapses in either stubbornness, because I think that's just stubbornness on his part. Some things that he just doesn't do. Like you're supposed to foul. You know what I'm saying? The analytics say foul, right? And he's gotten way better with stuff like that. You can see that his offense has become more modern than what he was doing back in the day, which was a lot of triangle offense. We still run some of those plays, but he has modernized the game. But he'll still do the weave at the top of the key. Like like 50 years ago, like what I'm saying, like back in the day, doing the weave at the top of the key. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That's structure. Like you need some structure. That's why we've been this type of team. You know what I'm saying? But I think is what I mentioned beforehand. It's just if you're up 20 points, 5 minutes left, give the guys some rest. You can keep one of the guys out there just to be safe. As soon as you see it's out of hand, take them out. And if you're up 20 and with 5 minutes left and you lose that game, well, you probably should have lost the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, if he just changes that, I don't think anybody will say anything. And people get injured all the time. Those injuries aren't really on his fault, I guess.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. That's the bottom line. Like, things just happen. Like, and before you criticize so much of the thought that Thibs is playing these guys all of these minutes, and I've said it before. I think it's also the combination of a couple different things. It's one that when you come in, and I know sometimes people don't want to hear it or they don't think it's real. When you come in, because it's the Knicks, right? But when you come in to play for the New York Knicks, you got to play hard. You know what I mean? Like, that's people. I don't think people give Thibodeau credit for what he expects of his players, and the players credit for the fact that they like what Thibs asks of them, and they'll do it, and they know they play hard for Thibs. Like, that's just what happens. And so when you play hard, especially harder than maybe, I'm not saying they don't play hard, but like, it is what it is. Different coaches ask for different things. They're not all of them ask for you to play hard, but some in the way in which they do their game plan, it's like required. Like you just know, if I got to be here, I got to cover this, I got to do that, and we're trying to put these guys in a bad situation. I got to go harder than the next man. I got to do this. Like, pause. You know what I mean? But the point is, they got to really dig in, set, and bring out that type level of I guess grit and fire that Thibs expects, because he knows that that's what's going to get the best out of you, and that's what's going to show the best results. The other thing too is, this is not a knock on OG. It's just how things work. Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, whoever else is on the team, they had all season to get themselves in good condition to be able to do whatever Thibs asked with regards to helping the team. If you got to play 40 minutes, these guys worked all season. They worked out, they practiced, they get the body in shape for that. We got OG Anunoby mid-season after a trade. We don't know his workout regimen with Toronto. I'm not saying it was bad, but it wasn't necessarily what Thibs needs you to be in. Like that shape, he was in okay shape, but he may not have been in Thibs shape. And that's another reason why him playing more than he was used to playing, his body just wasn't ready to take, to deal with it. So it's like, I think there's a couple things that you got to think about here that kind of played into it. It's not like he's asking that much more than what other coaches are asking. It's just that maybe, Toronto's system, I don't know what Toronto's running over there, but that head coach over there ain't Thibs. I know that. So like different things like that, I think play into it as well. And I think you got to think about that in regards to what's been happening. So let's get into our first guy here, because I think that, we already kind of, it was mentioned, we've talked about him in the past, but we got to revisit the situation because, the last time I actually did this was last year with this same player. And he is like, still very solid, but he's also a little bit better in certain aspects. But I definitely think that he's someone the Knicks should look into and pursue. And that is Tyus Jones. First off, shout out to everybody who's watching. We got 133 people on all platforms. Shout out to those on Twitter or X. What's good? Salute to y'all. Obviously, shout out to those on YouTube. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. Show your love and support for the show. It really helps me out. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that as well. So Tyus Jones, as you can see, he was averaging, let me just say what it was. He was averaging 29 minutes per game. 29 minutes per game and 12 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, 7.3 assists. That is a really nice number. 1.1 steals, which is great. 0.3 blocks. He's a small guy. He's not about the blocks. But look at that. 48.9% from the field. 41.4% from three and 80% from the free throw line, and averaging just one turnover a game, 7.3 assists and just one turnover a game. That's very nice. Very nice. I think that's definitely in a backup role where you can use him to give Jalen Brunson a nice spell. Deuce McBride can still come off the bench and knock down them threes in the corner and stuff like that. And he doesn't have to worry about all the ball handling issues. And, I think that's fantastic. Also, shout out to my guy, Noel Perez, and my guy, Carlos M. Rivera on Facebook, showing love. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. So, Shao, what do you think about Tyus Jones? I know you already mentioned it, but go into it a little bit more.
Tyus Jones would be a great fit. I mean, he can really come in and excite that second unit, with him and Deuce in the background. But like I said, man, it's all about the money. I think, in my opinion, he would take that mid-level exception that we have, which is somewhere around 13 million. I'm not sure if what his salary is like, but he maybe could fit into that 13 million mid-level that we have. But if I'm looking for that 13 million, I don't know if I want to take him for that. Great player would come in, excite the second unit, Like you said, he's a great shooter, great outside shooter. Can get when he gets to the free throw, he knocks it down. Very very rarely turns the ball over, and also steals the basketball. Very good player. And if it was any other situation, I would be all in for it. I think last year when they were talking about getting him, I was more so wanted to get him then before this year. But this year, if we're gonna with the way we're set right now, if we take him at the mid level, I don't think I wouldn't take him at the mid level exception right now. I think I could find a better player at that mid level exception right now.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. Eddie C. What's your thoughts, brother? How you feel about Tyus Jones?
I'm kind of on the same page with Sha. He's a great player. I like he has great statistics. He does a lot of the good things on the basketball court that you need to win. I have no problem with him as a player. It's just for the New York Knicks, Deuce McBride brings you some of those intangibles, not to the level that he does.
Not yet.
But no, but at such a good value where in the climate that we're in, where we're trying to, get under the first apron and things of that nature, I just think it's better for us to keep a Deuce McBride on the team, give him those minutes, and pay what we pay him instead of having to pay somebody else to take over his minutes and stuff like that. So it's more of a economical thing, you know what I'm saying? But he's a great player, and any team would be lucky to have him, to be honest with you.
I see what you are saying. I was just kind of looking at what Tyus was making. He signed a 2-year, $29 million, so a little under like 14 and a half.
So he might not even fit for that mid level. He might be a little bit over.
And his statistics, if you're looking at his statistics, those statistics jump off the page. So he's looking to get a good, sizable, probably $20 million a year for 4 years type deal. You know what I'm saying? He's probably looking like around 80 million. You know what I mean? Some Emmanuel Quickly type money. Like when we were offering him like 90. So maybe like a $90 million contract he's looking for. So I mean, I'm okay with Deuce at 12 for the next 3 years.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm cheap. As me personally, I'm a cheap person. So I don't like paying for nothing.
You're not cheap. You're frugal. Frugal. However you say that.
Wait, frugal? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Frugal. Yeah.
You'll pay for something if you really want it. But if it ain't worth it, yeah, I'm with you right there too.
I've been at peace once I realized that I am a cheap person. So once I realized that I am a cheap guy, my mind's been at ease.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, man, I wasn't gonna do this because I've already done this for this guy. Give me a second, man. I wasn't gonna do this for him because I already did it.
I'm gonna put the good name up there, Ron. I got one. I know who I would try to focus. I got a couple of guys. And it all depends on how the trades go down too. If go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Keep talking, bro.
No. It's all about how we what moves are we gonna make? You know what I mean? Because if we can't get Hardenstein or if we decide that we want to move off of Mitch, that comes in, that makes everything different. Or who knows? OG might sign his $20 million agreement. Maybe you sign that 20 like Josh Hart did. Sign the $20 million next year, you guaranteed 35. That'll make everything so much easier. Oh man, that would make so much easier.
That's what I've been hoping for all of these guys. I hope all of them did that for a year. Just one more year. Shout out to Sim from NothinButKnicks, who has said that he would love for all of them to do that. And that would make it a much easier for the Knicks to have some wiggle room to do a little bit more out there because we don't have a lot of money. But who knows if these guys will really do that. And if Jalen Brunson is already offering to take less and extend now, then I mean you can't really turn that down, can you? That's kind of tough to pass up. I'm sure the Knicks organization is like, oh wow, We ain't gonna let that go away because later, he may change his mind, and we're gonna have to open up the floodgates to get him at the number that he's gonna want. So it's not that crazy. All right, so I'm putting this Kelly Oubre stuff up here because I was just going to talk about him. Like I said, I've done this recently with Kelly Oubre's numbers and stuff, but I'll do it again. I just have to update it because it has changed a little bit since the last time I did it. So let's get Kelly Oubre up here. Let me make sure that that's correct. Yeah, that's right.
And just for the record, I really like Kelly Oubre.
I knew this had to be the guy that Ron's gonna bring up because I had him on my mind right now too.
He's the epitome of what the Knicks are right now.
And he probably wouldn't be too much about coming off the bench either.
And he's insurance.
Yep.
He's a good player. He can be rotational, and he's one of the best insurances that you can have out there for OG. Kind of like fantasy football where you got a handcuff. He's one of the best handcuffs you can have.
That's fair. I can't argue with that. I mean, Kelly Oubre has shown me a lot over the years. I didn't respect his game as much because, he's kind of cocky with it, and he talks like he's a star player sometimes, or his mannerisms give you that vibe. But then you're like, come on, you're Kelly Oubre. But when you do that, you do shortchange the guy. And when I had to, like I said, it was a wake up call last year, early in the year, when someone told me we should look at Kelly Oubre to get him later. I'm like, Kelly Oubre.
We should have looked at him. He wanted to come here 2-3 seasons ago.
I know.
He was putting videos out talking about, the Knicks got a good team. They looking like they're trying to thrive for something. I think that was even before Brunson was here, or the year Brunson was coming in. It had to been about two, maybe 3 seasons ago. He's been trying to get over here, and now what makes it more interesting. As everyone knows, that CAA mafia. That thing. He's free agent this year, and he signed with CAA. I mean,
yeah, that just it's just a little too much.
Yeah, right.
It's just a little too
I know.
Away.
I mean, I know the fact that he signed with CAA definitely makes people start to speculate and stuff. But listen,
he's been wanting to be here in New York, and now he's signing with CAA. And he fits that mid-level trade exception with 13 or 12.8 or 13 million, whatever you want to call it, for the math to be easy. I mean, he fits that. He fits that mid-level exception.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but let's bring him up. He is kind of annoying, but he's spunky. He's spunky, man. He's spunky.
The face that you're making while you're pulling up
because now I value him a lot more because of the fact that he says stuff, but he backs it up, and I hate the fact that our team has to get the short end of it, but it is what it is because he was making 14 million per year. And he decided to. Do you guys know he went to Philadelphia for $2 million for one season? Yeah, that is nuts. But we're gonna have to pay more for that than that.
We might not have to pay much more, but a little bit.
Was off court stuff, and I
it
think
was some of that. Yeah,
I think some of that crept up in Philadelphia too. Some of the off court things. But maybe he can be maturing. Maybe this playoffs, taught him a little something about himself and gave him some perspective of what his career arc can be if he focused.
Right.
And the New York would be a good place for him. You'll get a lot of media recognition. And for this next contract, he can be looking at some major cash. If he's going to get some pretty good. I don't think he's going to get cheap money either. I don't think this is a $11 million player. I think he's more around the $13, $14, $15 range, at least for 3 years.
Yeah,
right. And I think he's 27, 28.
Mm-hmm. He's a little more veteran, yeah.
Yeah, I think he is.
So if he's 30 years old getting a new contract and he does well with New York, he might be getting another bag for another 2-3 years.
What's his age? He is 28. Yeah.
When is he turning 29?
32 or something.
Oh, this year, December. So yeah, he'll be 29.
What I said 29.
Okay.
I'm talking about. I thought you were talking about the years.
I mean, but the other thing about him too, I mean, he is 6'7". It's good height, 7'3" wingspan.
He plays defense. He can grab the rebounds. He can electrify your second unit. He showed that he can shoot the 3-point shot in big games. He's gritty. He's arrogant. You know, something that the Knicks kind of like. You know what I mean? A guy that when he makes a play, he makes a play. You know what I mean? And he gets that snarl on his face. He lets you know that he dunked it on you. You know what I mean? And I think he could be, you know, what's his rebounds? 5 rebounds. That's perfect. 15 points. You know, not bad for from the field goal percentage. The 3-point percentage is low, but he played very well in that playoffs. I'm pretty sure that's for the season, but in the playoffs, I think he was closer to 35, 36%.
Yeah, he upped it a little bit. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him. He's good enough in all facets that you like. He would be a plus for this Knicks team. I wouldn't be mad at him at all. And you know, listen, I hear what you guys are saying, but I also wouldn't be mad at Kelly Oubre and Tyus Jones if it shook out that way. If the Knicks can somehow make the money work and they were able to bring those two guys in, I wouldn't be mad at this team. I'm just telling you right now, because if you're telling me that I'm coming back with everybody else, Precious would have to go, right? You know what I mean? But like,
Precious is gone. I think Precious is gone too. I think Bodega is gone, and with a caveat for if you just a caveat to the play that you were just talking about, because he's going to probably be around 12, 13, 14 million dollars. They have a biannual, the Knicks, at about $5 million, where they could get someone that could fit that role and could probably a little older player. You know what I mean? They got 2 guys that they could probably fit that role. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if you're going to put them up, but there's 2 guys at that biannual that I think that we can acquire that can fill in the same role as I'm messing his name up. Jones. I'm gonna say Jones. I forgot how to pronounce his first name. Tyus. Man, Tyus Jones. I think it's someone else that we could fit in that role. A little older player, but can fit the money and still not have it going over the cap. At least not to the second cap.
Okay. And you know, the other thing about him is, like, you know, he's a really solid player. The 75% from the free throw line is decent for today. That's okay. And you know, I do like his aggressiveness on offense, and he's a pretty damn decent defender. In some cases, he steps up and becomes a really good defender. He has moments where he can make some noise out there. So I'm not mad at Kelly Oubre. I can't even believe I'm saying it, but I'm here now, so I'm okay with it. Yeah. So definitely,
kind of like also fits the description of what the Knicks like in the wings.
Yeah. 6'7", lengthy, grab rebounds, plays defense.
He's kind of like what the Knicks thought Cam Reddish could have been. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is that it's Kelly Oubre is the finished product. So
right.
I think it's a no-brainer. All the situation about the CAA, playing the Knicks in the playoffs, losing to the Knicks in the playoffs, seeing how well he played against us. We're like one of the worst kept secrets.
The money fits. Follow the money. The money fits. He takes that mid level session, $12-13 million for a couple of years, and it still keeps us under the luxury tax. And I mean, that 13, I believe that we're probably about, with signing OG and Hartenstein, I still think we're about 20 million away. That 13 million could go right into that cap, would put us maybe still leave us with $7-8 million plus the I'm still trying to figure out, because we have 3 trade exceptions this year. 7 million. Let me get my numbers right. 7 million, 5 million, and 4 million. You know what I mean? I think the latter one can go into the next year, but we still have a little bit of plan. I think one of those, the biannual or the trade exceptions, don't hit the cap. So it won't push us into luxury tax. I believe one of those don't, but I know the mid-level goes into your cap.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have loopholes in everything that.
Yeah.
This to me, one of the we could talk about players all we want, but to me, unsung heroes when it comes to the New York Knicks, Brock Aller, people of that ilk, man.
Yeah,
The way
they know how to do those books.
they're just running those books, getting the players. Whoever is analyzing the players and getting these players in is doing a great job of it. Back 3 years ago, everybody was very upset at the Leon Rose regime. I think fast forward 3 years now, everybody's back on board. So what, nobody's perfect. He hasn't made everything. He hasn't batted 1,000, but who will? You know what I'm saying? Presti is a great general manager. He hasn't batted 1,000. He's done plenty of bad picks and situations. He traded away Harden instead of trading away Russell Westbrook. When it comes to picks, he's Poku.
Pokuševski.
Usman Deng. I haven't even seen the kid play. So there's a bunch of things. Nobody's perfect, man, but he's doing a great job.
I agree with that. Shout out to the chat once again. Appreciate you guys. Everybody who has tuned in. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe if you like the content and what you're seeing. Shout out to Coach Sire in the building. What up, Coach? Appreciate you. Coach said something that was very interesting. Coach said, Mo Cheeks is a development guy. The Knicks are getting rookies. I see that. That is it. So that is some, when I'm trying to figure out like what role can he play, that's a role that he can play. So that's a good one, Coach. And shout out to you, Sha. Long Island Sound 1 in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, bro. Good to see you as always. Revolution 2829. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Thank you for being here. He says, I wish Leon would tell Thibs, yo, man, we are drafting rookies. Learn how to coach young guys, or you're on your own. And you're you know what? Oh, I see what you're saying. It's well, I mean, listen, as we talked about, you can incorporate some of these young guys eventually when it's called for. But this team is ready to win now, and they got the players that can win now. It's just, how good can they be? That's the $1 million question.
Ron,
Miguel P is.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go because I gotta go bathe my daughter.
All right, do what you got to do, brother. Hey, Daddy Day's tomorrow for you.
So Saturday is the wife's day off. I gotta bathe my baby. But again, I appreciate you guys, man. You're the best, Ron. Sha.
Hey, did you put the link?
I put the link. I'm not sure if I'm doing it properly, but
no, it's not. It's not going to show up for you. Put it again, please, if you can, before you go. If you have a minute, and I'll repost it myself, and then it'll show up as a link.
Okay, so that's it right there. Let's see if you got it. It should come up shortly. I greatly appreciate that. I'm almost there. I'm at 46. Need a few more. And
this is on YouTube?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be.
I didn't know that they asked for 50 now. Oh, I don't know if that's new. I don't remember that.
They didn't before because I've done some lives before, but this is about a couple of years ago, and I just consistency and just a lot of stuff. But again, when it comes to the draft, I have a lot of things on my mind. I love draft time. This off season is the off season is kind of like in season now. There's no breaks for content, and I just like to talk, and I appreciate it if you guys come and support me.
Well, it didn't pop up for me. What's the name of the channel? I don't see it either.
The channel is Eddie C the Zombie, at Eddie C the Zombie.
Eddie C the zombie.
Yes, Eddie C and DA Zombie at Eddie C the Zombie. Yes. Um, yeah, man, just come and support and talk basketball just like we do on regular
I
on
got
this
it.
show, on everybody else's shows. And yeah, I just love for everybody to come through and just talk for a little bit and thank you very much, Ron.
No problem.
And yeah, talk basketball just like we
Okay,
regularly
thank
do.
you.
Barbershop talk.
No doubt. No doubt. Appreciate you, Eddie.
Thank you
Uh,
very much. Thank you very
and
much, guys.
I will subscribe, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ron. Take it easy and have a good Saturday, guys.
You as well, bro. Take it easy,
Peace.
bro. So where was I? Shout out to Miguel P. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being here. APAP in the building. Salute, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Kerry Cox is in the building. He was in the building, but I realized I didn't say what's up to my guy Kerry. Shout out to my guy Kerry Cox. And shout out to my guy Hard Will for the love of the game. That's right, guys. If y'all haven't checked out For the Love of the Game, man, that's the number 4 OUR, love of the game. Please show them some love. And shout out to you once again, my brother. I know you are instrumental in supporting your family, your nieces and nephew, or niece and nephew, both playing college ball and doing it at a really good clip, man. Shout out to them. And shout out to that young man who is going to be in this year's draft. I'm wishing him the best. You know what I mean? Like he's a special talent. So that's pretty dope, man. That family lineage is real over there, brother. So salute to all y'all. And that is Stefan Castle. If y'all don't know, guys, Stefan Castle, he's a name you better watch for because he's got some skills, man, and he's only going to get better. He's got good size. He's got a good mid-range. He's a good passer. I don't get into the whole thing, but that boy's good. That's all I can tell you, man. He's good. So I'm really excited to see what happens. Let me see here. And shout out to my guy Paris Duggar. Paris, thank you for the generous super chat. He says, I will never waver from this. I'm sure that Grimes, Obi quickly, and RJ would have matured us into a championship by 2026. The only issue is Thibs and Randall. Listen, man, I love that you are that those are your guys. And you standing on business. I just don't know, bro. I don't know. I just think that the Knicks needed a change. And I don't know if the combination of those players would have really worked towards us getting there. It's okay to have one or two of those guys. Not all of them, though. I don't think they all would have got us to where we needed to go because there's too many guys that just they're not hitting that next level. You know what I mean? You just need that next level. RJ probably was the most ready to do that. But as more time has gone on in the league, you notice that he's declined a little bit in some of his abilities. I'm not saying he's going to stay there, but it's just what we notice as Knicks fans. But once again, that's under Tom Thibodeau and the expectations. Maybe he goes, under whatever coach, whoever they got in Toronto now, next year with a full season. Maybe he balls out. Who knows? We'll see. But that being said, I think I want to get into my last guy that I had, and obviously, Shah, if you got some people that you wanted to talk about, we can talk about them as well.
I'll see after you put the next name because I'm pretty sure we probably might be on the same wavelength. But this is the two guys that I'm talking about are older guys, veteran style guys, and and I think we can get them with the at around the biannual money.
Oh no, yeah. Then you probably are going to talk about people I'm not talking about. I'm talking about someone who I don't think the Knicks are going to get, but for whatever reason, just the name just keeps popping up, and people are still talking about him. Now, don't get me wrong. There's definitely a good and a bad to having him, and I feel like every year we're talking about this guy.
Put him in there, Ron. You got me antsy. Oh, not the cat.
Oh, meow. Hey, man. Carl Anthony Towns, once again, we got to talk about this dude because this thing just never goes away. Now, mind you, it's tough to say you don't want a guy who averages 21.8 points, 8.3 rebounds, 3 assists, whatever, forget the steals and the blocks, but 50% from the field as a shooter. Because usually 50% from the field for a big man it's not that great. It's all right, it ain't that great. But for a shooting big man, that's phenomenal. And 41% from three, almost 42% from three. 87.3 from the free throw line. Guy is a beast. But he is a cat and not a dog. Meow. That's the problem. That's the problem a lot of us have with him and his unwillingness to play the center position. He wants to just float out there like a big power forward shooting threes. The only thing I can say to that is I can't really hate on him because as a young player myself, I didn't want to play inside. I wanted to be out on the perimeter myself, but I was no damn Carl Anthony Towns. I mean, if you tell me, listen, I don't want to be down low, banging with these dudes and beating my body up, I'm a shooter. And if you tell me that you're going to be knocking it down from 41% from three and 87% from the free throw line, 50% from, I can't even argue with the guy. If that's what he wants to do, he's backing it up. Just saying. Does he have enough to get the Knicks over that hump? Can he go out there and play the way we need to have him play to get us to that next level? I don't know, man. What's your thoughts on Carl Anthony? I know you guys talk about Carl Anthony a lot on your show, bro. So what's your thoughts on Carl Anthony, man?
Carl Anthony, like you said, his stats don't lie. I mean, he can shoot the basketball. He has a back to the basket game. He also can rebound the basketball. He can be a little protective around the rim, intimidating and stuff like that. Awesome for the 3-point land. But in order to get Carl to get Towns, we would have to trade. It's definitely a trade, that has to be met. There was some trades out there with him with this $36 million thing, Julius Randle and I think Bogdan. But how we would have to go into the tax, and we would stay in the tax with Towns being on the roster. I'm not sure if it's going to be towards the second tax, but it definitely will put us into the first tax. But what the best thing about that is that player, if we're looking for a quasi superstar player that around the league, and you're talking about a one-to-one trade for a $50 million player, he is in that realm where you can make that trade acceptable. You know what I mean? So the cons to him is his style of basketball. He played, he's a great basketball player. More of an outside shooting type of big man. Not really wanting to play the center role is the downside, and also his hit to the cap. Following that money, we would have to make some willing and dealing before we can get anybody. You know what I mean? And I just don't see it happening. His name does pop up every time the Knicks. Every year his name is popping up. But for his money right now, I don't know if we can afford him. I mean, and am I willing to give up Julius Randle for Towns? I think Julius Randle fits better over here, but then again, you don't know what the fit is until you put it into effect. That pick and roll with him and Brunson, the drive, the darts down to the basket. Now teams ain't going to be playing the rim so much. He spaces the floor incredibly. He's a higher threat at 3-point land from Julius Randle. It's all about fit for me and following the money. I'd rather pay Julius Randle $28 million than to pay Cat this year. I think Cat's this year is 36. I keep seeing that number out there. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Is this year his 36 and then next year is 50? Next year we'll really have to worry about the salary implications then.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Next year, 2024, 2025, the estimate is that he will be getting 49 million.
Yeah, all of that money. I don't know. I mean, and we're already struggling to make a 14-man roster right now, 15-man roster right now. I don't think if we put him in there and trade away 2 players to get 1 player, now we're farther away and we're going to pay more money to have empty seats on our roster. And now we don't have the $13 million mid-level exception. I think we lose the biannual then too, because we'll be closer to the second apron. So with him bringing him over, stagnates us, making more moves with the money that we have available, and especially with the money that might not hit our cap. So he would be great. He would have been great here 2 years ago when the big hoopla was over here. Before we got Hardenstein and all that stuff, maybe it would have been great then. But if I get Cat, I want to keep Julius with him, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I hear you on that. It's just that he.
Yeah, him being here would electrify it would electrify the guard, and he would come over here. He got a little grit. Yeah, his name is Cat, but he got a little dog in him. He a little aggressive. He'll throw it down on you. He'll go down there and get a big rebound. He's not, he gets 8 rebounds a game, so he could, one night he can come out and get 14, 15 rebounds. He's not not that he can't grab rebounds. He's a great rebounder, averaging about 8 rebounds a game, but his style of basketball is the linky. I mean, the big power forward that doesn't really want to dabble too much in the paint unless he's backing you down, a small man backing you down to take you to the hole.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough for me with him. I don't know. It's so weird. I mean, I think I was always kind of looking at him sideways ever since he said he used to talk to himself on the court like he's got an alter ego, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? I don't know what are you talking about? Are you out there on the court like, yeah, man, I got to get this shot. Yeah, you got to get this shot. What are you waiting for? Oh no, I don't know. What are we doing? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if somehow it happened if we were able to keep the core of this team, because I'm just, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, no doubt. He's not my first choice. It's just not my first choice. Shout out to Knicks Nation 112, where the players drill. What's going on, brother? He said, what's good, Ron, SKF family and the Knicks Nation. Salute shot for holding it down. Facts. Vaughn Allen's like, stay in mini. I hear you. Hit him up, said, is Kelly Oubre starting or coming off the bench? I think he comes off the bench. And I think he wouldn't have a problem doing that. Yeah. I think he comes off the bench. And you keep most of these guys in the same spot that they're in. Like Dante DiVincenzo can stay starting. And I think that's not bad at all. I mean, a team of having Brunson, Devo, OG, then Randall and well, I don't know. That's the thing. They can't really say Hartenstein because we don't know what's going to happen with him. But for example, Hartenstein, and then bringing Oubre and Deuce, and Josh Hart off the bench with whatever they'll stay. They want to round it out with. It's not bad at all. We'll see. We'll see.
So I can get 2 or 3.
So Minnesota will give. Alton Lee says Minnesota will give Cat the extension. They are going through a rough sale, and he's an asset. I see your point. Knicks Nation said, Ron, to Paris Douglas' point earlier, I felt like we had a higher ceiling with RJ over Randall. RJ and IQ were replaced by Dante, and Josh didn't raise the ceiling. We lost in the second round last time too. I know that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, but once again, guys, we lost in the second round with guys hurt. Like, all we talked about with this team was, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett for years until we got Brunson. But if you have Brunson and no Julius Randle and he's on the team, then what is this team? It's just like Toronto. Like you can't really say how good RJ Barrett is with Toronto, because he got hurt with Toronto, by the way. He was out and missed some time with them. And then when he was out there, he was typical RJ, up and down, very sketchy. He had some good games and he had some bad games. It's what we used to seeing. So I don't necessarily know if RJ would have been better than Randall at the current time. The other thing is, as I've said many times, we lost in the second round, but I don't think we lose in the second round if we had Randall. It's just, to me. So I can't. It's not like we had Randall and he didn't play up to par, and that's why we lost. He wasn't even out there. So I don't want to. I just think we're a better team, but we'll never know until next year.
I say this now because everyone has to remember the month that we had in January when we had all the guys available, because we only had them all available 1 month. Only person, to the caveat, that we didn't have was Mitchell Robinson. But when we had OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Ihard, DiVincenzo, and Brunson on the court together for that 1 month, I believe we were 13-4 or something like that. And I mean, we only had them in the beginning of the year. We did not have OG. We had RJ and IQ. And at the end of the year, we didn't have OG. We didn't have Randle. We didn't have Mitchell Robinson. But for that 1 month, we had, pretty much the whole crew that Tom Thibodeau Circle of Trust guys. We played very well, you know what I mean? And I believe that that's where they're going to try to go this year with it. Just add some players that can enhance what they already have. And I mean, I think that 9-man rotation or 8-man rotation that they were running that 1 month with OG and Randle on the court together was phenomenal. And we only seen it for 1 month. So imagine if we could have seen it for 4 months, or 5 months, almost consecutive or something like that. October, November, December. Imagine we could see that 3 months. I think, everybody would change the way they think about this quasi big name player, this superstar player that we want to trade for.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm, I can't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's tough, man. And then let me see how true this is. Somebody said something. I got to check this out because I'm curious. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me go back to it. All right, let's see. So, what was said here? Hold on. I'm just curious. I'm not picking on what your post is or anything like that. I'm curious, and I like us to understand everything here. Shout out to Knicks Nation. He said we played poor teams during that stretch. Let's see. All right. Let's share screen. I mean, you could be right. I don't know. We're going to take a look.
I think we beat Philly by 30, and that's when Embiid was good. I mean, was healthy.
That we did. All right. So let's see what we got here. January, right? We'll just start. We'll do the whole month of January. Minnesota. And Minnesota was cooking. Chicago, yeah. Philadelphia, Washington, Portland, Dallas, Houston. If you guys remember, early in the season, Houston was playing pretty decent. I'm not saying they were great, but they weren't bums. Washington again, yeah. Toronto, yeah. Brooklyn, yeah. Denver, Miami, and then Charlotte and Utah. So I would say Denver, Miami, that's 2. Houston, I'm going to throw them in there 3. Dallas 4. Philadelphia 5. Minnesota 6. So to some extent, you have a point. Got to play who's in front of you, though. But the point is, they did what they had to do with whoever they had in front of them. I see your point, though. I see your point. But that's how you win games. You got to beat up on everybody.
Facts. And the games in that bracket there, man, there was some big wins in there. You know, it wasn't the teams that those 6 teams or so that we're talking about. I can't see it from here too much, but I know we beat up on Utah. We beat up on Miami. We beat some teams with some big numbers, and we didn't lose games by much. No,
we beat up on Denver.
Yeah.
And we beat up on Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at this, though. This is crazy, guys. I know it's just beautiful to look at. Look at them W's, B. 1 L smacked in between all these W's.
Yeah, man. That's when the team was pretty much healthy. You know what I mean? The only person we didn't really have in those lineups was Mitchell Robinson. And I believe we had already moved on from Grimes. I think in January we were probably maybe might have been around. Oh no, that might be towards February where we got both Don and Burks. But in this lineup right here, and in those games, we had Julius Randle, we had Diehard, we had DiVincenzo, Brunson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart. We had all those guys there. You know what I mean? Precious Achua. We had all those guys playing. So, for them to, get all those wins, encapsulate all those wins with the quasi Tom Thibodeau Circle of Trust players, that's major.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I won't say that one. I know you said Philly was limping. No, I wouldn't say that one. I mean, because Embiid had 30 and 10. Maxey had 27. Oubre gave his 15. They were there. They were healthy. They just got smacked. Yeah. Like the defense was lit on these guys. They made it difficult. So I don't know about that, but I'm not. You can't listen. You could look at this and say I gave you credit for your point that maybe they didn't play a bunch of great teams in January, but you can't take away the fact that no matter who they played, it was a win. Except for that game against Dallas, and that one they lost by 4 points. That was the Kyrie game, if I'm not mistaken, where Kyrie lit us up for 44, I believe, which really hurt me. It hurt. I don't know, man. I can't take that away from them. They was running through smacking people, and then just when the getting was good against Miami, I believe this is when Julius got hurt, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that sucked. So, yeah, that stunk.
And right after that, OG got hurt. That elbow flared up. Right after Randall went down, then OG went down.
Yeah, that sucked. That stunk. Shout out to my guy Fly God Third, the AKA C_Mac. The only one limping was Embiid. I mean, he wasn't unhealthy the way he was going into the playoffs. He was okay. The Knicks were just playing really tight basketball during that time. Shout out to my guy Deron Wayne. What's good, brother? Appreciate you. Okay. All right. I think I got everybody who was saying something in reference to that. Nick P says Towns' contract is terrible. The problem, maybe it's not lovely. It's not lovely.
Facts.
So who were those other 2 guys that you was thinking about, Sha?
All right. Let me let me give you the whole how my mind be thinking, because I be sitting in the house. I was saying this to Devon the other day. I be sitting in my house talking to myself. Wifey comes in. She said, "You sitting there talking to yourself?" Because I gotta hear it come out my mouth so it sounds better. But
okay. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Not to cut you off, but I'm gonna cut you off. Let me just tell the people, smash that like button. Looks a little something like this. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Sha. My fault.
All right, we have 6 players that are on contract right now. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, DiVincenzo, and Deuce McBride. Their combined salaries is about $102, $103 million. If we include iHeart at about 17 and OG at the most 35, we would be at about $154 million. We would be about 22 to 24 million away from the first apron. I believe that we can pick up all three of our free agents, all three of our trade picks. Our draft picks. I mean, with their salary, all combined would be about $6 million, which would bring us about $160 million, which still keeps us $17 million under the cap, under the first apron. We use our $13 million trade exception to get, I think, Oubre. You know what I mean? And that would bring us up to 173 with about $5 million left on our before we hit the first apron. We use the biannual, which is $5 million, and I think that doesn't affect our cap. And this is one of the two players that I would put into that role. We could get Kyle Lowry, or we could get Chris Paul. I think those two players would take that $5 million for a year, or however that would have to work out for a salary for them, but at the end of their tenure. And I think it would probably be more so Kyle Lowry, but I would love to see Chris Paul here too, to back up Jalen Brunson. Chris Paul, older, but still a veteran, still can knock down the shot, still shooting about 50% from the field goals, and probably about 30-something% from the 3-point land, and still can facilitate the basketball. It'll help the second unit out, and we would still be under the cap. And then if we wanted to, we could re-sign Sims and be right at the right under the apron by a couple of million. I think it's like $2 million. We also have to take into consideration Julius Randle's money that he gets for bonuses, and also DiVincenzo money that he gets for bonuses. I think DiVincenzo's is somewhere around $1,750,000, and Julius Randle is about another $2 million, which could possibly put us right at the cap at 179, right over the cap. You know what I mean? But we have 14 players. We don't get the tax. We don't get the tax for not having 15 players on the roster, and we bring Khalil and Dunn. And Ryan and whoever. There's another guy that I named that I like. Milka. Hold up, let me see if I still got his name. Saint Missy. Another guy that I like, 7-foot guy, about 20 years old. Or we look at the Zach Edey type of guy if he's still at 24, 25. So that's where I got it, where we got 14 players. We barely hit the tax hole. We're not really, we bring the 3 young guys in to play almost a role with Chris Paul, you know what I mean? And we still have our solid 9-man rotation with Mitchell Robinson. And if anything comes of it, we can trade Mitchell Robinson, whoever at the trade deadline, if it comes down to it, if Edey is balling out, so we can come back under the cap. I don't think that they signed Bodega. I think that $20 million, that extra $20 million that unless we're making a trade, but we would have to do all of that before we hit the cap. I know they would figure it out before it gets to that luxury tax, but Bodega, me personally, I think we give them the $2 million and let them walk. And we could possibly bring back Jericho Sims with that $2 million contract and be right at 179-ish. I mean, maybe, they finagle it where we still stay right under the cap, under that first apron. Boosted the team, got 3 young rookies to sit on the bench for the next 2-3 years. Let go of Daquan Jeffries, Toppin, Diakite, Shake Milton. All those guys come off the cap. You know what I mean? And I think we can get right there, right to the cap, or maybe be just in the cap in that first apron, but not by that many millions of dollars.
Mm,
Oh, and that's
that's
where
interesting.
that's where we had the biannual to get the Kyle Lowry or the Chris Paul that could come in, and that will all have to be before the cap. You know what I mean? So if we do go into the cap, it would be after we sign the 3 rookies, and we still have a little wiggle room before we get to that cap. We still have $2 or $3 million. I don't know if Randall's cap, I mean that money for his bonuses is included in the cap. That I'm not sure. Or that $700 million for DiVincenzo is included into their cap. I'm not sure, because if it is, then we will be a little higher into the cap. But I think I'm not sure if they had to give that money before, or it had to be registered on the salary as a bonus.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I mean, I can't fault it because that's very practical and very realistic. I honestly, if I don't know if. So here's the thing. So the thing is, right? I'm not sure if Kyle Lowry is ready to walk away from
I don't think so, but
Philadelphia.
name to throw out there.
But I like the Kyle Lowry thing. Like, it's something about a hater, a Knick hater, and I don't mean like a hater like that. I mean like a guy who's just always lit the Knicks up. And he's that guy. Because he's been always solid at what he does. I like the fact that Kyle Lowry can do that and do it at a really decent level for whatever team he's with, which he could definitely bring to the Knicks. I mean, Kyle
Villanova,
Lowry,
baby.
yeah, and that's it's the Villanova connection too. I mean, Kyle Lowry is 38 years old, right? And he's 6 feet. But knowing that, that when he's out there, he's pesky. He's pesky. He still knows how to affect you, no matter who you are. He slaps the ball out your hands. He pokes and steals. He does different things. Like your height advantage.
And he gets calls.
Well, yeah, he does get calls. Your height advantage doesn't necessarily deter Kyle Lowry from being able to affect you. He does a great job at it, right? He averages just under a steal a game. He averages 8 points a game. He was playing 28 minutes for Philadelphia, but he wasn't a focal point of the offense. He was just like open shot, ball moves to Lowry. He does what he got to do. But 44% from the field, 40% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line. That's and averaging about 4.6 assists. That's good, man. That's
coming
great
off the
to have.
Backing
that's
up
great.
Brunson.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault it. Now, the thing is, there's 2 reasons that the only worry me about him is that I think Philadelphia is his hometown. This is his first time having a chance to play with them, and I'm not sure he wants to leave just as is. And then the other thing that's very peculiar, I don't know if you guys saw, I don't feed into things, but sometimes things look a little iffy. There's a picture of LeBron James at dinner with Nick Nurse. I don't know what that's about. Just saying. Philadelphia's got a lot of money.
They do.
Nick Nurse would definitely love to have a LeBron James on the squad, and LeBron James doesn't care. He won't mind. Just saying. And if LeBron James goes to Philadelphia, Kyle Lowry is like, yo, what? I'm not going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
So I don't know. And I really don't want that to happen, because when LeBron James goes to Philadelphia, the Knicks going to have some issues. It's going to be a little bit of a problem. So that's that. And I would prefer Chris Paul over. I would prefer Kyle Lowry over Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul is not bad in his own right. He averaged 26 minutes per game, shot 44% from the field, 37% from 3, which is not bad. It's just not as good as Lowry. 82.7 from the free throw line, 6.8 assists still at this age. 3.9, almost 4 rebounds per game, 1.2 steals per game, and averaged 9 points per game. So, yeah, and he's 39, I believe. Yeah, 39, and still contributing. And coming off the bench as a backup, I don't mind it. I mean, I do think that sometimes I see Chris Paul and his game is a little bit more iffy sometimes. Sometimes I don't see him doing as much as he normally does, but in the end, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, this is what he finished with. So that's pretty solid from a backup at this advanced age. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind that either. So I think both of those are very interesting. I just got to see. Louisiana Knicks, shout out to you. You said, Ron, are you sure about Randall? What I mean is, do you extend Randall after this next season? He's going to want a max contract after this year. Do you go all in with Brunson, Randall as your cornerstone players? Don't know. We got to see. And I don't know if Randall's even going to want the max.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I think real life stuff has happened. I mean, him being hurt, the Knicks being able to continue with the season and being solid, getting to that 2 seed, getting to the second round without him, it definitely, I think, hurts his value a little bit. And this is the thing that I hate to say, because I don't want to talk about it, because I don't want Knicks fans to start, throwing players away. But coming back from a shoulder dislocation is not the greatest injury to come back from. It can get re-aggravated. You can re-injure it. So this type of things does kind of hurt your value a little bit. So I'm just saying, like, it's not, I don't think he's in the greatest position to negotiate max money. But, who knows? I don't know. Who knows? I feel like the Knicks are always in this position, Sha, where it's always a what if, and you can't really classify what you got going on because there's something else that stops you. Like if Randall was healthy and stunk it up in the playoffs, that's it. That would be it. That would be the last straw. Like you can say, oh, no. You've had enough chances. The Atlanta thing was a wake-up call, but we knew that you needed more help. But still, it is what it is. We keep it in the back of our minds. Last year, you were hurt going into the Cleveland situation. And then Miami, you played. You had 2 or 3 good games, 2 good games. A third was okay. But you also re-aggravated the injury in that. So it can kind of give you a little bit of a pass. But you contributed, right? Now, if he was to play this year and stink it up, that would be enough for me to say, nah, they can't really win with Randall. But that didn't happen. We didn't see Randall. So it's like you can't. I don't know how you could just say he can't do it when he just didn't have a chance to do it. It's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's big time tough, man. Like I said, we only really had Julius Randle the first start of the year. By the All-Star break, we didn't have no Julius Randle, So, and I think Julius Randle was at the Yankee game. He went to the Rangers game. He rang the New York Stock Exchange bell the other day. Big things for New York. So I think he'll take that New York discount because he's getting endorsements. He got a couple of commercials that I see him in. There was some commercials last year. He got a new sneaker deal, with stretches and stuff like that. I mean, I think we can get him and have him with a solid salary, and I think he loves New York. And I mean, I think his son enjoys New York. I don't think we need New. I think he'll take a big deal for us, something similar to almost what Jalen Brunson is going to do for us. To also help the team out, why I think that OG's deal is going to be somewhere closer to 30 million or maybe 32 million than higher than 35 million. But with all those things being said, I think I think Julius Randle was here to stay for a little while. I think he's going to finish up his tender as a Knick. I don't think they're going to get off of him, and I'm just waiting for him to get into the playoff season and really execute his game. Then we're really going to have to worry about that supermax after that.
Right. Shout out to the chat once again. Appreciate all y'all. My guy, Old Head in the building. Salute, Old Head. Oh, first of all, hold on. Shout out to Best of the Worst. Appreciate you, Best of the Worst. He said I would give him max money with stipulations like bonuses get you to the max, things like an all-star and NBA appearances and huge playoff and championship. That makes sense to me.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, incentives, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's going to get that. OG's going to get that this year. I don't think OG's going to make 35 million. I think he's going to make somewhere around 29 million with $4 or $5 million in incentives. Play 65 games, make 1, 2, or 3 defensive player of the season, shoot 38% from 3-point land, all these stipulations that they could put on him, can get him to that 35 million. But I think it's going to be closer to $30 million. And I mean, has on the books it'll be 35 million, but you know how some contracts you'll see, they're making $150 million, but and realistically, with the incentives, you're making 135 million over the extent of your career. So with the incentives, get you closer to the money that you want. And I think every team is doing that now. And I'm pretty sure OG will have that in his contract when he signs with the Knicks.
Yeah, I agree with that. But shout out to JW in the building. New York's not going over the first nor second apron. This management loves to keep financial flexibility.
Facts.
You may be right, but sometimes
it may hit the first cap, but I don't think we'll be in there that much where we can't fix it at the trade deadline. As long as we don't go at the end of the season in the luxury tax, we'll be fine. We could trade
I agree.
or something. Yeah.
I agree that they'll try to stay under it if they can for this year, but next year when it's time to pay Brunson and Randall and all these
contracts,
that's it. You're gonna have to do it. It is what it is. That's what all championship teams are gonna run into, that first apron, all of them, and maybe some of them will run into the second apron, but all of them are gonna run into that first apron eventually. There's no way the Celtics are gonna be able to stay out of that if they want to keep Jason Tatum. Let me tell you that. So that's just what's happened. Shout out to D Coolers 718. Appreciate you, my brother. Salute as well to you. Hold on one second. I want to get back to old head, but hold on.
Ron, before you do that, man, I'm gonna have to punch out myself too, man. I gotta go roll to Manhattan and stuff like that, and try to enjoy some of this weather outside.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
With my homeboys and stuff like that. But thank you for letting me get on, Ron. You know what I mean? As always and stuff. Salute to the family that's in the chat. Let's keep talking this Knicks, this Knicks what ifs, all these what if for the Knicks and stuff like that. And I'll get back in touch with you probably next week, or I'll see you as you do your pods during the week. But I'll definitely try to be back on next week as well.
Sounds good, my brother. I appreciate you, and go out there and enjoy the day, man.
Peace.
All right, brother. I'm about to get out of here myself, actually. Shout out to Dripmore, the official barber of Still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. Let's go. What's going on, Dripmore? Appreciate you, brother. What's good. Happy early Father's Day to everybody, and to you as well, sir. Shout out to Corvello in the building. Salute, Corvello. Appreciate you. B Willis is in the building. What up, B Willis? Appreciate you, bro. And I said what's up to D Coolest. Yes. So back to old head. Okay. So old head, I hear you, man, but if you want to win a championship, you need some veteran experience and veteran know-how to get it done. A lot of times, man. He said, can we move forward with the young players, please? Old veterans over the hill is old Knick management thinking. But you're not making these guys the focal point of your team. They're just complimentary players that would come in making small money. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going out and bringing in Paul George and making Paul George an intricate part of the offense. It's not like you're going out and saying, I'm going to go get, I don't know, whoever. DeMar DeRozan, which I'm not mad with DeMar DeRozan. I'm just saying, for example, it's not like you're going out and getting DeMar DeRozan and saying, DeMar DeRozan is going to replace Julius Randle and we'll move on from Dante DiVincenzo and it'll be Brunson and DeRozan. You're not doing that. Whatever you're doing is adding to the team and trying to make the team better. And if you can spend less money doing it, even better. But you got to have some veteran talent that helps you win a championship. If you look at the best teams in the league, a lot of these teams have a couple veteran talented players on their team. For example, the Boston Celtics are most likely, nothing's 100%, but most likely going to win the NBA championship. And on the Boston Celtics, you got Drew Holiday, who's 34 years old, and you've got Al Horford, who's 38 years old. This is how these teams get built. This is what happens when you want to win a championship. this is what happens. You have a couple of these players on your team. It's usually how it works, because you need some of that, and you need guys that have been battle tested and just go out there every night. The lights are not too big for them. They know what they got to do. They just get it done. So it's kind of like I don't know a lot of teams that win without having those guys. OKC, a really good team, played great basketball. They was first in the West at one point, and they are not talking, NBA Finals, are they? They got knocked out. I'm not saying that the veteran experience would definitely put them over the top, but say OKC had Chris Paul. You know what I mean? Chris Paul could help orchestrate the offense coming off the bench. No. Old veterans, not the veterans is what we're talking about. Older veterans, Sherwin, and shout out to you, by the way. Salute to you. Let's not forget the Knicks, the New York Knicks roster and the age of the players. Okay, let's not forget that. Precious Ochoa, 24 years old. OG Anunoby, 26 years old. Bojan Bogdanovic, 35 years old, that we just got, right? And he's probably, I don't know if he's going to come back or not, whatever. I'm not talking about Charlie Brown. Jalen Brunson, 27. Alec Burks, 32, came over with Bojan at the trade deadline for these purposes. Dante, 27. Josh Hart, 29. Hartenstein, 26. Miles McBride, 23. Julius Randle, 29. Mitchell Robinson, 26. Jericho Sims, 25. Like, where's the old veterans? There's no old veterans on this team outside of Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks that we just got at the trade deadline. This team ain't old. Sherwin says the Knicks need another all-star, a big wing, someone like Jalen Brown, the $320 million guy. How are we going to do that? I'm not saying, you know what I mean. I know we're not talking about him specifically, but like, how are we going to do that? I don't think you need that, man. You need healthy bodies, man. You need healthy bodies. It wouldn't have taken much for Jalen Brunson to get this Knicks team into the Eastern Conference Finals. You lose OG Anunoby, and that changed. I'm going to go back to it again. In Game 3, the Knicks were up 2-0. Game 3, that game was close, and the Knicks had a chance to win that game. But once again, let's not forget, OG Anunoby got hurt in Game 3, and we lost. We had a chance to win, though. And if OG was healthy for the whole game, there's a chance we could have won. But he got hurt, and we were never the same after that. So are you telling me that if OG Anunoby goes down and we lose him in Game 3, and then you can point to the bench and bring in Kelly Oubre to help out with the team, you don't think that would have put us in a better position to win, knowing that we lost OG? Like, we needed help. We needed a backup. We don't got no backups. Alton Lee says we can go after Derek White. I mean, well, you can go after him, but I think he's found a home in Boston, man. I think he loves the way they treat him out there. He's a loyal type of guy. He was with the Spurs, and at one point the Spurs was, he was a big part of that team. I think he likes where he's at with Boston. No. OG played Game 3. I believe he got hurt early. Let me pull it up. I don't want to give you guys false information, but just double checking here. OG Anunoby. You might be right. Maybe I'm tripping. Oh, so it's even worse than I thought. Why did I think that he got hurt in game 3? No, he got hurt in game 2. Oh, wow. So he got hurt. Okay. It's all coming back to me. He got hurt in game 2. Brunson got hurt, right? Remember, Brunson left, went to the locker room. OG was carrying the team. He put up the 28 points. Then he hurt his hammy. Then Brunson came back and Brunson finished. Okay. Thank you. See, this is what the chat is good about. You guys can make me remember stuff. So we didn't have him for game 3 at all, which makes it even worse. So basically what we're saying, this actually makes the argument look even worse. So with OG Anunoby on the team, we won the first 2 games, and then we lost the next game because we didn't have him, and then eventually lost the series because we didn't have him. So that stinks. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, so yeah, like I said, if we had an Oubre, I see D Cool is naming some names. We should add one: Oubre, Gary Trent Jr., or Malik Monk. I'm okay with any of those guys. I think Gary Trent Jr. makes some good money, though. I don't know about that money he makes. Let me see what he's making. I think he makes some good money. Contract. Gary Trent Jr. is making $18.5 million. Wait, hold on. I'm not looking at this. Let me go here. Yeah, 18.5, a player option. Yeah, that's a lot of money for Gary Trent. I'm not saying that he's not worth it, but that's a lot of money in your books. Kelly Oubre is more affordable. What's the other guy? Malik Monk. Let's see what Malik's making. $9 million. It's a better number. Much better number. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised too, Sherwin, at that one. Don't get me wrong. I'm like I said, I'm not. Brandon Ingram is a really good, talented player, but he does get healthy. I mean, hurt. He does get hurt a lot. He's not always healthy. So, I don't know. Do you want to have? Because listen, Sherwin, OG's come. I mean, listen. Knock on wood. OG's coming back, right? So, do you want to have OG and Brandon Ingram and possibly see both of them out at the same time? I don't know. It's tough. Well, listen, guys, I wouldn't go too crazy. There's going to be, like I said, I keep saying it every week, a lot of speculation, a lot of talk, a lot of rumors, a lot of different players going to be thrown, mentioned in the Knicks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We just got to watch it play out and watch the speculation run wild. Let's see what's the next thing on our list that we really need to focus on. Today is June 15th. June 26th is the NBA draft. It's only 11 days away, guys. So we got to see what happens. I have said that I feel like the Knicks are going to make a trade on or before June 26th. I'm not sure that the Knicks will be able to do anything after that, because you also got dates in which certain things have to be done player-wise, and it's usually at the end of June. So we'll see what happens. But my thought is, if the Knicks are going to make a move, it's going to be by June 26th. We'll see. And if not, we'll just be talking about whoever we drafted. We'll see what happens. I'm good either way, guys. Like I said, I like this this front office. I like what they're doing, and I'm happy that the Knicks are in a better position, and we can talk about them having a chance to improve. So, well, with Malik Monk, I don't know, where would he play? I would bring him off the bench. He's not starting. Dante gets the starting nod. Malik Monk comes off the bench, and he plays the 2 or 3. It don't matter, because Josh Hart will be coming off the bench too, and whatever position the other one's not playing, the other one will play. So I mean, there's not a spot for Malik Monk. Malik Monk is playing whatever he's playing, but he's doing it for Sacramento. This is the Knicks. We got our own roster. He's coming in to help this team. He plays where Tom Thibodeau wants him to play. Not worried about Malik Monk. He's not DeJounte Murray. You know what I mean? He's not even Mikal Bridges. So you play him wherever you want to play him. That might be true. He might get more than we can offer. That's very true. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I don't know, man. That Villanova connection is very strong. Who knows? He might be in the cards, but the Knicks would have to give up a lot to get this man. So I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. Before we get out of here, let me hit this little ad promo. Oh, my bad. I didn't know y'all was still here. My fault. Be jamming, you know what I mean? Anyway, we'll see what happens. D Cooler says if Dolan wants a championship, he can't be cheap. Championship teams go over the salary cap all the time. Why y'all think we can't? Listen, that's what I've said multiple times. The championship team, they're going to wind up in that first apron automatically, and some of them might wind up in the second apron, because that's what it takes to put these teams together. Right now, Boston is probably not in it, but they will be, because Jason Tatum's going to have to get paid. And he is going to break the bank if they want to keep him. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's unavoidable. Whether you got to do it before you get there or you do it after you get there, it's going to happen to your team. So we'll see. Shout out to everybody once again on YouTube and on Twitter. 134 people across all platforms. Thank you, guys. Please smash that like button on your way out if you haven't already done so. Subscribe if you like the content. Appreciate everybody who jumped on with me earlier today. My guy Shy Powers, Real Knicks in the building. Knicks Real Talk, should I say? Appreciate you. And also, I want to give some love to my guy Eddie C. Please go support and like, comment, subscribe to his channel. Eddie C, the Zombie. Let me put the link in the chat one more again. Boom. So definitely support him and his new content that he is launching. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for being here and rocking. Enjoy the weather wherever you're at. But if you're in East Coast, New York area especially, the weather's beautiful. So get out there and make the best of it. Shout out to all of the fathers out there. Happy early Father's Day to you all. Please Make the best of it. Father's Day is one of those. We joke about it a lot, that it doesn't get recognized the way it should as opposed to other holidays. But you know what? We joke about it, but there's some truth there. So if you're a father, you know, take tomorrow, enjoy yourself. You know, fellow fathers get together, you know, barbecue, whatever you like to do, and just enjoy your special day, man. Because, you know, for those who do the damn thing the way you should do the damn thing, you know, it's your day, you earned it, and you should just, you know, make the best of it. Shout out to my guy Dripmore. Subscribe to my channel Dripmore for fire cuts. There you go, guys. Subscribe to Dripmore. Appreciate you. Miguel P, thank you, my brother. He said happy Father's Day to Ron and all the fathers in the chat. Blessings. Oh, there was someone else that my guy Dwayne Dennis. Salute, Dwayne Dennis. I appreciate you, bro. Salute to you, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to Alton Lee. Good to see you, bro. It's been a minute. I'm glad you popped up. And once again, thank you to all everybody here in the chat once again for showing love. Yeah, and I think that's it, man. Stream Elements, thanks for giving me the update on who's subscribing. KC Pop Off in the building, appreciate you, man. Thank you, and everybody else. Thank you guys for tuning in. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knick fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays at 11:30-ish. Today I had to push it back a little bit because I was doing something for Know the Ledge. Appreciate you. And I'm glad that everybody came in. They were, you know, thoughtful on their thoughts. I didn't have to do anything crazy and talk y'all off the ledge like when people start doing this.
Let's see if I know the ledge.
Wasn't crazy today. Wasn't crazy. So thank you guys as usual. You could also catch us on Mondays, especially this Monday. We didn't do last Monday's show, but look for us this Monday, myself and John, on SKF Weekly at 9 p.m. Please show your love and support. And then this week, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Tried to get a guest for the hip hop show on Know the Ledge, you know, but couldn't get somebody lined up. But we'll keep working on that. Maybe we got one for this week. And then maybe we'll do a closeout NBA wrap up show on Nothing But Knicks to just close out the season, because by that time Boston may have won the championship. We'll see. Who knows? But once again, thank you guys. Thank everybody for being here and rocking. Go, like I said, go enjoy the rest of your day. And tomorrow, happy Father's Day once again. We out of here. Take care. And let's go Knicks as usual.